Thank you so much for staying and hanging with us. Y'all been having fun at your festival this year? Amazing musicians here this year. It's beautiful, beautiful thing. I gotta do this for somebody beautiful. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Turn this mic way up, make it nice.
Yay, good evening. So Prince. I think everybody has a history with Prince. So when did it start with you, Shaun? How did you discover it?
Well, I would say the first time I saw a Prince video was when Doves Cry, and I was like maybe 8. And the first thing that freaked me out was him in the tub and then getting out the tub. I was like, what am I watching here? So I will say it took me a while for really me to warm up to Prince. And granted, my mother was a bigger fan of Michael Jackson because she was a fan of him since she was a little girl. But with Prince, she was iffy with him until Purple Rain, and Purple Rain made her a fan of Prince. And then we got to see Purple Rain because that was on VHS. So I remember watching that video and just all the music, all the stage performances from Prince and the time. And whilst a lot of the music I would say went over my head as a kid, like it did as everybody. But as the more I started learning about Prince and listening to his music, I get the gist of what he was talking about as I got older. And I just had a big appreciation for Prince as a musician because the man knows his stuff when it comes to music. He invented the Minneapolis sound, spun off on a lot of groups. He influenced Jam and Lewis and all types of Minneapolis acts. So, yeah, that was my introduction when Doves Cry, that first video, and how my reaction to it was. But it was awesome, listening to his music and just geeking out over it. And I'm glad to be on here with y'all, just talking and honoring Prince, who passed away on the 21st of April 5 years ago.
Yeah, I guess it's also like a death that you heard that you still remember probably where you were when you heard it when he passed away.
I was at work. We was chilling in the break room, just watching some sports, and all of a sudden one of the workers said Prince died, and I was like, "What?" We all grabbing our phones and looking up the stuff. And at first the news was coming slow, but then slowly but surely they came out, and I was like, Prince is gone. And I remember when Michael Jackson died, the whole world stopped when Michael Jackson died. So Prince dying that day, the world stopped, and we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Terrible day.
It was. I remember it was after 6 o'clock at night. I was in the car, and then suddenly there was on the news, Prince died. It's like, what, the Prince of England? But then they started playing Purple Rain. I was like, no, not my Prince. And but what about you, Steve? How did you, discover Prince, and where were you?
Well, a little different than you guys, seeing how I'm slightly older than you guys. Slightly. But I heard I Want to Be Your Lover come on the radio, and we were like, man, who is this? Who is this Prince guy, right? And everybody was talking about him. Man, they started playing that song more and more. And there was a girl that lived across the street from my buddies, and she had a poster of him. She said, "This is him, isn't he beautiful?" And this was a redhead white girl, right? And she loved Prince. She showed us a poster, so I didn't even know what he looked like or nothing. But I just said, "Man, that guy's pretty damn good." And then, man, I never knew he'd go on to the heights he went on to. You know, I said, "Man, you know, maybe he's a flash, a couple songs here or there." I was dead wrong on that. Man, I never got to see him in concert. That was my, it sucks. I didn't get to see him. But yeah, man, that was my first song.
No, I mean, I never got to see him neither. And I've saw a bunch of acts like Earth, Wind and Fire and, you know, Cameo and a lot of the older acts, but Prince was like the one I could never see.
Yeah, I saw Morris Day in the Time, and I've seen Earth, Wind and Fire. I've seen Fleetwood Mac and all, but I missed Michael Jackson and Prince. It sucks, man. I wanted my wife said it was the greatest show she went to too. She rubs it in every couple of months. She throws it out there. Remember that time I went to Prince?
And you know, Michael Jackson and Prince will probably get on the stage, stand there right there, and people just faint. I mean,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
They couldn't do a versus of that. It's no way, man. I promise there would be no server. All the amount of people that we wanting to be on there. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Just like that one Super Bowl performance, right, of Michael Jackson, where he just flies, he just jumps, and he just stands there for like 30 minutes long.
Yeah,
30 minutes. I mean, so many people fainted, girls and guys. It's like, this man ain't even sung a note yet.
He just showed up. He just stood there. Here I
am. And I just to take it back to my mother, like she had like 6 Michael Jackson tapes and 2 Prince tapes. But I used to watch those tapes all the time, you know, Thriller and all this stuff. But when I watched Prince music, I was like, man, Prince is just different from Michael. Whereas Michael was more of a performer and a great singer, Prince was doing it all. You know, from the performance,
he was producing it, writing it,
singing it.
He's the guitar work. He's the best guy in the band in all their positions. He's a better guitarist, better drummer, better singer. Michael Jackson was just, maybe a singer.
And Prince did it all on high heels.
And you know why he wore high heels? He said, because women love high heels.
Yeah.
He said everyone thought it was to make me taller.
But a old friend of mine, he used to tell me, and God damn, he's right. He used to say, people don't realize it right now, but they will realize it in time, that Prince is actually a modern day Beethoven. And in years, people will understand the whole impact.
Yeah, it's like the music came through him. You know what I mean? Like, he just came to him. Some people, man, they can write a hit song and one and that two in their struggle. It just kept flowing out of him, man. He would write it down. I think he heard it, and he could, that's why he wanted studios right at his hand, so he could just run in there. Oh, look, I got it. Let me record it. Some people think of it and then they forget it. They even dream songs.
I mean, that's the reason why Prince had so much music, because he had the studio right next to his bedroom. He just walked in there, whatever was on his mind, he put it on wax right there.
You know why he stayed in Minneapolis, Puff? Is he said, because when it's freezing cold outside, you know what you're doing? You're in the studio working. He goes, you ain't out at the beach. You ain't out having a good old time. You're in there working because you damn sure don't want to be out there in the cold. So I was like, man, that's pretty damn smart. And he damn sure stayed there too.
Yeah, he was too good to be true, actually.
Yeah, really, he was.
My mom was really into Michael Jackson and Prince, just like Shaun, but you had more Michael Jackson stuff. So in the early 90s, I don't know how it actually happened, but I discovered Prince somehow, and it was Purple Rain. And my mom went all out. Like, now she had like an excuse, right? Like, no, but my daughter loves Prince, so now I can buy the VHS, the movie, and all the calendar and everything. It was just, it's such a memorable thing to think back on. Like,
they thought the movie was going to tank too. They thought the movie was going to tank. No one wanted to. I think Prince used some of his own money to back the movie,
Yeah, he did.
It cost $7 million to make the movie, and it made $70 million. There goes your theory, man. When someone's talented, they're just can do anything.
It's just like Shaun said earlier, it's the best musical out there. The whole thing, the whole story, the plot, every song in the movie is just even the background music.
The music in that right from the get, like let's get crazy. You're hooked immediately because the music just captures you, and you're there for the whole ride of the movie through the ups and downs of the characters. You know, all the musical performances. Morris Day, crazy ass.
Yeah, Morris Day, man. Morris Day made the movie. I love Morris Day.
You know.
Morris Day. They said he didn't say, I don't think 10 words to Prince the whole movie. And I really didn't realize that. I really want to go back and watch that.
Well, the one that was kind of funny was when they were walking by Prince's dressing room. Yeah. He walked back. He like, how's the family?
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I was like, damn.
And then they were mocking his song, "Let's Go Crazy." That was hilarious.
Like the revolution, my ass.
Yeah, because if you talk to Morris Day said we were doing just as good as Prince, and he was a little jealous. They had a little, battles when they would.
Yeah, it was like a competition. Like Prince signed them, right?
Yeah.
Then they actually end up doing just as good as Prince. So it was like this competition. How Prince ego is. It's like he rules all.
Morris Day said Prince would have all these lights and all this and shit. He said he'd give us 4 lights. I said, man, he was still controlling. He said, y'all ain't gonna outdo me. Even if you do, it ain't gonna be in good light. They ain't gonna see you. Crazy, man.
And just look at the lighting between the final 2 performances in the movie. Morris Day had the exciting music, with the lights and all. But then Prince get that purple light.
Yeah, that purple light, everything.
That performance, man. And I'll say this: "Purple Rain" is my favorite song. That song just hits me on a different level when he sings that hook and just the music, the guitar, and how the melodies go. It's just one of my favorite songs of Prince's. And out of many,
especially when he goes to at the end, it's like. But then also when he played it live, everybody in the audience was already singing it. And he was just like letting it go. You just started crying because it was so beautiful how everybody in the audience was just singing that part of the song. It's crazy. An actual old friend of mine as well. She got how do you call it? Like standing tickets. Like she was near the stage and I had seating tickets.
Yeah, the floor level. She's on floor.
Yes, that. But this lucky bitch, Prince was in a good mood. He was inviting people up on stage, and she was allowed to get on stage and dance next to Prince. She even had like a picture where she's like standing next to him, like, ah! And I'm like,
I'd have been like, Shaun, so cool. Snap my picture, bro. You'd be like, man, let me get my time. Get down.
You would grab the microphone and go, where we were at.
Let me
Shaun, bring it.
Yeah. Look at Steve getting crazy with Prince, man.
Hell yeah, I love Prince, man. He was awesome, dude. I loved him. He got better and better and better, man. It was crazy. When I first saw him, I was like, that little dude, no way. He's going to be a rock. No. Yeah, he is. Yeah. He is. He's gone. He's in the atmosphere. All the girls loved him. I don't care who they were way, way back then.
Same. I'm still in love with him. Even when I watch Purple, like I have the menu on right now, and it's a picture of Prince. I'm like, damn. Even though I'm way taller than him, it don't matter.
Yeah, you're like Prince.
And then another thing Prince had was those eyes of his, man.
Yeah, he had big eyes.
Those eyes. It's like once he stares into your soul, he's like, music and stuff like that. It's a wrap.
Yeah, but just the way that he looks at Apollonia and goes like, I don't think you would pass the initiation. And she's like, what initiation? It's like
Lake Minnetonka.
His eyes.
got to purify yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
Lake Minnetonka.
Oh,
Jumped in
man.
that cold ass water. He told her that wasn't Lake Minnetonka. She was hot. I cried laughing at that, man.
Yeah, he was like that at Lake Minnetonka.
You know, he was just a little agitator. You know, when she was trying to get on the bike too, he's like, "Arr." She tries to get on the bike. "Arr."
Yeah.
She's like,
don't get my feet wet.
Oh my God.
He's awesome.
And then, of course, you know, they had to bring that back with the Charlie Murphy story.
Oh. They always got that, bring that back.
Oh crap, we have some people in the chat. Let me say hello real quickly. I don't know if my internet is slow, probably. Hello, Kikker. Goedenavond. We have Smiley Tori. Robert, thank you for stopping by while you're moving. She grew up with him.
Wow.
Fuck.
Hey, immediately send the invite to her. Yeah. Rolling Stone helped them a lot with that review, man. That really helped them. Because you know, Rolling Stone, their reviews were big back in the days.
Yeah, when they mattered.
Yeah, when it mattered,
yes.
and what they said mattered.
You know, also with MTV, if they gave you airtime, then you would become famous. Like Video Killed the Radio Star, literally.
Yeah, exactly. It was true. I couldn't believe it.
And you know how artists put effort in, you know, by like, for example, like Jennifer Lopez, like in her early days, how she would always have like this dance break, and then the dance break would have like really good music, and I would go out by the single and the dance break, and the music wouldn't be on there. I would be like, God damn it! Fuck. Just for the video.
I hate when they do that. I hate when they put a single out with the video and it has different elements that's not on the album. And I'm like, wait a minute, now, I liked that shit in the video. Why are you going to take it out on the album version?
Yeah, they play a different version totally.
I was mentioning this earlier to Dan, because we were talking about Prince for a bit. I said, I really like what Eric Clapton once said, because an interviewer asked him, how is it to be like the greatest guitar player in the world? He's like, I don't know, ask Prince.
Yeah. Do you guys remember when Prince came on? What was it? I think it was 2004 or 5. They were inducting someone, and the Traveling Wilburys were doing a show, and he jumped on with his guitar and played My Weeping Guitar, I think, by
Dan was talking about that.
It was awesome.
George,
he threw his guitar in the air and walked off. Boy, took the whole show over in 5 minutes.
Yep. Prince will do that.
But that's the power of Prince.
Yeah, they said he just didn't show up and, you know, play a little part. No, he was the part. He was everything after that. They didn't even see anyone else but him.
Hey, if you invite Prince to like take a part of something,
forget it.
He's gonna steal the spotlight like he steals girls, man. Yeah, that's just how it is.
You don't invite him to your house with your girlfriend over. Hell no. You don't have no girlfriend over.
Walk home empty-handed.
And she'll be wearing no shoes. He'll be wearing her shoes home.
Oh my God. Like, for example, when I saw him live, he had Andiello with him, and you could definitely see the way that Andiello was looking at him. Like, she was totally like into the zone. Like, she was hypnotized by Prince, and Prince was like playing it cool. And then they sang "Take Me With You" together. You see her totally in love, getting really close to Prince, and Prince being real cool and stuff. I'm like, you fucking player. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah, some of the songs, man, are from the bad times.
He really pushed the envelope. I was telling Sanimation earlier about Darling Nikki of the Purple Rain and how that was the creation of the Parental Advisor sticker on the album because that song right there.
Tipper Gore threw a fit.
Her 11-year-old daughter was listening to that song, and hey, that's not for kids.
They found out with the first line in the song.
And I didn't understand at the time what he was singing, but I could tell. I was a kid watching it. I think it was like 8 or something, and my mom was like, "Just let her watch it. I mean, I'm gonna see stuff on TV sooner or later, anyway." But the way that he's like touching himself, and the way that he's like humping that stereo, that speaker thing.
That's the. And I just love how he was looking directly at Apollina, and he's like, come here, you mind? And he did it twice. Early in the movie, when he sung that song, directed straight at her. The beautiful ones, directed straight at her.
I love that part. Go ahead, Shaun. Go ahead.
You could see Morris Day like looking with the side eye, like, man, this motherfucker, man, he'll take my girl, man.
I just hear a jungle off.
What was the girl that walked up to him in the alley? Him and Jerome were walking out, and he had Jerome throw her in the dumpster.
Yeah.
He looked at him. He just gave him the nods. Threw her in the dumpster.
He just goes, Jerome. But what I really like is that The Beautiful Ones is actually allegedly written for Vanity. Denise.
Yeah, because she was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, she was going to star, and then Apollonia because they got in a fight.
Because she got a record deal, just like how it went with Apollonia in the movie, but she got a record deal with Motown, and she had 2 albums on Motown, but her drug addiction totally ruined it. She went with Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue, and there's even Sixx has a book, The Heroin Diaries, where he talks about how he was having a relationship with her, which was just based on drugs, and they were really destroying each other. But she was also in some really great movies, and allegedly The Beautiful Ones was for her, and I believe it was a concert in Australia in 2016, just a few months before he passed away. She passed away, and he was dedicating that song to her, and that's when it kind of got like confirmed, like it's about her in the end. And it's a sad story, especially for Denise, how she went through a lot of shit. But it got Apollonia her moment of shine, and I just also love. Prince is such a player. How Susan was also like his girlfriend at one point. Like everybody was his girlfriend at one point.
And when Apollonia came for the movie, she was going out with David Lee Roth, and he made her break up with him to be in the movie. He showed her before the movie started. My power just went out my house. Oh, it's back on. That was crazy. Yeah, he made her break up. They made him break up, and that was it for her and him anyways, I guess, after that. That's crazy. He's controlling her before the movie. He don't even know her.
He was hanging with a lot of women
at the time.
Because he was Wendy's sister. She was in the group that he created, The Family, who first did Nothing Compares to You, and he was in a relationship with her while he was seeing one of the other girls, and then also probably with Sheila E. And he was a pimp.
Yeah, Prince just. As soon as Prince walked into the room, he immediately draws attention. Immediately. Yes. I'll never forget. The stories with him and Rick James. Why they had a dislike for each other, because Rick James saw him as ultimate competition, and Prince always rocked out the shows, and Rick James didn't like that. Because he thought he was the top dog in there.
Yeah, Prince broke a lot of.
That kind of reminds me of what was it? What was it to Chadwick Boseman when he did James Brown? When
with Little Richard?
He went on before the Rolling Stones, and he said he walked off. How'd you like that?
Oh,
they weren't gonna do that goddamn good.
You can't follow James Brown.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
But also, you had Madonna performing for Live Aid 1985, and the jacket that she's wearing, she got it as a present from Prince. Like, Prince was really, going around in the music scene. But then their weak-ass duet that they have together on Madonna's Like a Prayer album, it's like, really? you're gonna collaborate together, and this is the weak song that you're gonna do together. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't even remember that song, to be honest, man, because it wasn't memorable.
Me neither. I don't even remember it.
It wasn't
You know
memorable.
that's bad when we don't remember it.
They should have gave Prince full reign.
I know this was around the time that he came out with the amazing soundtrack for Batman. So,
man, I liked that Batman soundtrack. You know, like that, like when Batman the movie came out and Prince did the whole album to it. I rocked that album a lot. You know, because I loved the Batman movie and that song with the Joker them coming down the street. You know, playing the Prince. I was like, yo, that shit was a bop. So I played the hell out of that song.
Party Man. Oh god, he is just amazing. I just have one of the newer albums. I think it's more like 2010 Minneapolis. Woo! I believe there's also like a comic book out of it, right? That MLP Sound or something like that, Minneapolis Sound. I think I saw it somewhere.
Well, you know, Prince had a comic book in the late 80s. I think it was written by Dwayne McDuffie. You know, it's a hard book to find too.
Kicker actually showed me a picture of it, and I was like, "You bought that for me?" But he said it was just a picture from online somewhere. So I was like, "You teasing scumbag."
Here, you can see it, but you can't have it. Let me just show it.
Right?
Let me see if I pull it up.
But also, you know, of course, the amazing Sheila E. She also still performs a lot in the Netherlands. I don't know, for some reason they have a thing for the Netherlands, like Prince. It's actually in one of those. Yeah, that was the comic that you were showing me. I was like, damn you fucker. Like, what's that? Oh, look.
He is right there. Sheila E. I love, like, Glamorous Life was definitely whenever that came on the radio, I gotta turn that sucker up because that song be pumping.
I love Bizarre.
Like I loved the beat to that.
Love Bizarre.
You know,
I love Bizarre, man. She kicks ass.
Yeah, that's another one. It's another one.
But the drum solo in her in the movie of The Sign of the Times, where she goes at it like really fast, I'm like, Jesus. I mean, a lot of people give those heavy metal drummers like a lot of credit for going really fast, but Sheila E. deserves a lot of credit.
She even had a nice drum solo in Crush Groove. No,
that's a movie that I once watched, but I only watched it once because it was hard. It still is hard to find. But one of the things that gave me hope as a Dutch girl was it's on one of those Prince songs. I can't remember which one, but it's on I think it's Bad Dance. No, not Bad Dance. I don't know which one. But at one point, the saxophone kicks in, and he's like, if I want sax, I'll call Candy. And then you have Candy Dolfer playing the saxophone, which is a Dutch saxophone player, and he performed with other Dutch artists. So it gave me slightly hope. I was like, if I learn an instrument, can I perform with Prince?
I'll say this: I am a fan of Candy Dolfer. You know, I love her music. You know, jazz music and stuff. I think she's an amazing saxophonist. But
yes,
I do love her music. So it was great to see her and Prince together doing that.
Yeah, I think it was about 5 years ago or so, where she was performing with 3 other Dutch ladies. Like you know that the 3 ladies, like the Soul Sisters. I once showed you a video. You're like, yeah, I actually know them. But she was like, Sheila E. is touring. Let's invite her. And Sheila E. was performing along with them. It's like, holy fuck! I actually missed that concert because it was so cool. Because I saw her playing the Glamorous Live in the Netherlands in the stadium. Like, what? So she's definitely, along with Morris Day and Time, like the final artist that I still want to see live when it comes to like the whole Prince gang. Because
I want to see the Time perform 7779311. I love that song, man. The drum pattern on that song is ridiculous, and Prince was responsible for that.
I love Gigolos Get Lonely too. That's one of my favorite Morris Day.
Yep.
Morris is talking cash shit in that song.
I have the small single of like Ice Cream Ice Cream Castle, something like that.
Yeah, Ice Cream Castles. I think that's one of his later. When I was
That was like the only song that I could find. But how people were like that number, I already forgot the 7. That one song that we had. How people like, oh, it's impossible to play. How drummers nowadays are making like YouTube videos, like how they can actually play it. You're like, damn, you know, they're pretty good.
It's and he created that on the machine. I forgot the name of it, but he created that loop on the machine and then asked one of the band members to perform it. You know, and it's a challenging task when you really look at how intricate that drum pattern is. And I've watched many videos of people doing it, and I'm like, man, that takes a lot of practice, just to do that drum pattern and get it down perfectly. Because Prince, that's what he wants. He's the master of perfectionist, in terms of being on stage, in terms of all the notes. He was like James Brown in the 60s and 70s. You got to be 100% precise and perfect with your music patterns. Or else you're going to do it all over again. I'm going to be a pain in your ass.
Yeah. And he's going to stop every rehearsal every 2 minutes. That shit ain't getting it. He will stop it. Do it again. Do it again.
People can say a lot about it, that he's very controlling, but we wouldn't have been able to see the amazing shows that we know of Prince if he wasn't that
show. You practice. You work.
Also, the one girl, she's the blondie with the short hair. I forgot her name in the movie, but she's also in the 1999 video where she looks like really like a prostitute. I know her name is Jill Jones, and how she eventually also got her one song produced by Prince, I think in '88. So in the end, she also got her song. It's Mia Bocca, and how everyone just, and also Carmen Electra. She got her name thanks to Prince, of course.
Carmen Electra.
God, but oh my God, in the past, I ain't heard her name said in a while.
Yeah, she is. She. I mean, a lot of women actually got to thank their stardom because of Prince, and some are able to stick around long. I mean, Sheila E. basically still has to live off the songs that Prince did for and with her, but there are not many women out there today that are still even like Andiello, who was a young girl that was supposed to be like the new protege of Prince. She had like the one song that became a small hit that she performed during his live shows in 2011, but other than that, it's like Andiello.
She didn't blow up like the others.
You remember when the girls were practicing for Morris Day and they were sitting in the front? There wasn't sex shooter. They were practicing sex shooter.
Yeah.
He goes, I demand perfection.
And all the sounds that he made, like, what? It was like,
yeah, he had all the sounds.
But have you ever heard the demo that Vanity sang of Sex Shooter? I think that demo version is way better because there's like a guitar sound in it. It's so much better. Just look it up, Vanity 6 Sex Shooter. Even his version is good.
I think that's the one I saw was the Vanity one. When I do I've looked it up not too long ago.
It's been a while since I've listened to that demo version, but I know I heard it. And it really, I always say it's a shame that she wasn't in this movie. That her and Prince had differences before because
she was so good in Last Dragon, man. Imagine.
Oh, I love her in The Last Dragon. I love her, and
she had those big eyes too. Those big eyes. I mean, she was super pretty.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
And if she was in this movie, she would have made it even more better. Like, it was already great to begin with, but just Vanity alone with her, fine self, she was beautiful, gorgeous. She would have made this movie 10 times even better.
Oh my God! Like, I can only imagine because she was.
I can only imagine her getting thrown in Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah, or just her in the haystack during When Dogs Cry. I mean, even I hope to one day find her solo records on vinyl because that's the last part that I still want to have to complete Vanity collection. But I really like her solo records as well. Under the Influence is a really good song. She was doing really good, but it went wrong with her drug addiction. And I think if she wouldn't have gotten that much into drugs, then in a way she probably would have.
I always thought when she did the movie Action that was her in real. you know, when she was on the drugs and yet she played the junkie in that movie. I was like, damn, that really, you know, showed what she was going through, even if it was a movie.
Yeah. Because even in the Nikki Sixx heroin diaries, he talks about that there was always this short guy. He didn't really say the particular prince, but there was this short guy that would come, like sending her flowers, like please leave him, come back, you know, don't do drugs. Just like he is like slapping Apollonia, you know, with alcohol, like don't drink that.
Yeah, that makes you think that did Prince really overdose on drugs? Really, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't see him. He never got involved in all that kind of shit.
But then again, you know, I know his body was suffering because of everything that he was doing throughout his career and the performances. I mean, you gotta remember, you're jumping off a stage in high heels. That shit takes an effect.
He's doing leg
kicks
and karate and spinning around. He was break dancing in heels. Shit.
Yeah.
Fucking lucky to be alive, I guess.
He was a James Brown on invisible cocaine, pretty much.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
with his stage presence.
That's that damn spin before he went to see his father in the basement playing his song. That damn spin always get me laughing when he does that spin. I was like, this guy being extra with that spin.
It was crazy how much sheet music he had in that basement, though, right? All the songs he had when the sheet music went everywhere and he piled it all. I was like, God, look at all them songs, man. They might be in that vault right now.
Well, they're releasing them slowly, and I don't know how to feel like it as a fan because I know Prince is really against it, and he was like only releasing what he was feeling comfortable with. And now that they're releasing all kinds of things just for money, but then to hear the demos, you know, to hear him sing the Makeup song that was recorded on the Vanity 6 album, you know, it's like, damn, like his voice is exactly how the girls sang it. Or that Father song, you know, the one that we know from movie that turned into Computer Blue. That one was finally released in really HQ quality, and it's like, damn. I don't know how to feel, but I'm glad that it's, in a way, I'm glad it's being released, but in the other way, I'm like, yeah, this is not what Prince wanted.
When he performed, what was it at the Super Bowl? Is one of his, you know, not most recent performances when he sang Lolita with those two girls. I love that song, man.
Yeah, I remember
he had those two Spanish girls singing Lolita with him. I couldn't think of that song, man, and I kept punching in, you know, the lyrics, and finally it came up. I was like, damn, it's Lolita. I was saying something totally different, but I remembered it now.
I remember when he did that performance and they had the white sheet cover him, and the guitar had like the erect part of the guitar sticking out, and you could just like, look at this guy.
He's so crazy, man. Constantly causing someone to talk about him. That's what he wanted.
And you know, I listened to Controversy like yesterday.
Oh my God, that's such a great album.
I love that song, but I remember when I first heard "Do Me Baby" and that extended part at the last end. I was like, "Yo, this what the, like." I love the song, but that extended part kind of took me aback when I first heard it. Like, what the fuck is I listening to? Some softcore porn on it? But it was an amazing album, man. I loved it, that one.
Yeah, that spin, man. His spin was something else, boy. He's spinning them heels like crazy.
Yeah. Also, how he's just like the quick step doing "I Would Die for You," and then he would turn around and shake his ass. It's like that whole like licking his butt. But as a kid sitting on the couch,
when he went across the whole stage with them little steps doing it, he was traveling, man, with him.
Yeah, he was traveling, man.
And I didn't understand at the time why my mom would get me a particular white blouse with all the ruffles here, but it was inspired by Prince. She was dressing me up as Prince. It's like, damn.
Mama said, "I'm put you in Prince codes because you're gonna learn the Prince style."
Hey, you know, like Prince wanted to be a basketball player, right? Prince loved basketball. But
oh yeah,
when he stopped growing at 5'2", that was him for that dream.
Nice.
Ooh. I'm just throwing in an image.
I think I only got like 2 vinyls of Prince, and maybe because I know I got the New Generation. Because that album, the New Power Generation, had Diamonds and Pearl. I fucking love Diamonds and Pearl.
Yeah, that's a good song. You rarely hear that one.
Yeah, man. Like people, that's an underrated Prince jam right there. There we go.
Yeah, but also Rosie Gaines, when they start singing "Nothing Compares to You," her voice. But then she also went on and to like a solo career. And people was like, okay, good luck, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, like the 4 albums Gordon mentioned would be like I could just listen to 4 of those straight through.
Yeah. I remember the first concert that I saw of Prince, he was doing Automatic and Delirious, and I was just basically losing my mind because he was playing really nearby. I was like, I told my brother, like, hey, Prince is coming. Want to come? Want to join? Because, you know, we grew up with this shit. And he was like, yeah, cool, let's go. And it was like one of the best shows I've ever seen until I saw him after a midnight show at the North Sea Jazz Festival.
Yeah, the after midnight shows I heard were awesome. Those after midnight shows, man. He'd rush right off the concert and go do another goddamn show. He was crazy as hell, man.
It started at 12:30 till 3 a.m. and I was queuing every day because he played 3 shows, and I was queuing every day from 6 a.m. So I hardly got any sleep because I was like queuing all day just to see Prince. And I was
feeling like Prince, no sleep. Hey, one of his guys in the documentary said he don't sleep.
But to see him up close, you know, it's just so weird, and he just has to like look down to the audience. You're just like, he is amazing. And how he, you know, invited the girl up and she was allowed to sit on his piano and he would sing a song, and there were a lot of pictures taken, and she was like throwing the pictures at the other concert, like remember me. But you know, at that time, he was performing a lot with Larry Graham. He was like known first from Sly and the Family Stone, which is also a really
nice
band. But he was playing at the festival, right? So while we were queuing outside and waiting all day, they were like, you know, Prince just joined Larry Graham on stage. I was like, but will it also happen the other way around, right? And Prince was started like the whole guitar thing, and everything. Like you could tell it was intro was a long ass intro because Prince don't care. It's like a 30-minute intro. Suddenly you hear a bass, and I'm like, no way. And then Larry Graham walks up on stage, and I was like, oh my god, another let. They were like everyday people.
Boy, that would have been a hell. I would have loved to see that one. Just with Larry Graham up there. Damn, you're lucky. That was lucky girl.
I know. Yeah. I was half fainting, and I didn't have a voice anymore. And I still had like 2 concerts to go.
She said she was half fainting.
Half fainting. Hey, she was out with no sleep on top of that.
I know. It was like, what's happening? Like Prince is right here. That's Larry Graham, and I knew that Kenny Dolphin was also there, but she didn't show up. But the North Sea Jazz Festival has a lot of these classic artists like B.B. King coming there, like a lot of soul artists coming. So that's just a dream festival to go to. But then Prince also is, when you talk about Prince concerts, you have the big concerts, but then you also have the after shows that he calls them. So he could just pop up in a small club somewhere. Those are the most legendary ones.
Like, can you imagine being at some rundown ass club and Prince popping up on that goddamn stage? I go lock the door so no one else couldn't come in. I would say I'm getting all this shit myself. Well, I'm getting front row.
A friend of mine was there because it was actually near her place because I lived like way away from Amsterdam. He was like playing near Amsterdam in a small club. There were rumors going around like he might be showing up at that club later tonight. So they were queuing all day in front of the club, and goddamn, he was there. Like a really small stage, really. It's so cool.
Man, you got to experience Prince live, man.
And so did my wife, man. I always got to hear about it. Now, the animation could just throw that up in my face at any time, and now I got double whammy on me, man. I saw him 3 times.
It's tough, man. Because I used to always go to the park where they get the performances. I saw Run DMC, Earth, Wind and Fire cameo.
Yeah, because you were in New York. That's where they all go.
Yeah, so Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Sugar Hill Gang. I saw all those acts, but like Prince, and I knew I wasn't gonna afford a Prince or a Michael Jackson concert because they was performing at the Garden and stuff like that. And unless my dad was getting tickets from somebody at his job, I wasn't gonna go see that because I didn't have money to pay for them tickets.
Yeah, man.
Once they be sold out so quick, it'd be like, damn.
Hey, the first concert I got to see, Shaun, was Roger and Zapp with Midnight Star.
Oh,
and
man,
Roger and Zapp killed it, man. They must have had 20 people on that stage, man. They were passing joints around that whole place, man. I didn't smoke, man. That shit, I was like, man, I was high anyway. Man, I just had to be in the place. Just stood at the door. They just stood back at the door and said, we can't even control this shit's crazy. Just stand back. It was awesome concert.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the song that I was, if anyone is watching this from the start, I started it out with The Beautiful Ones that was performed at North Sea Jazz Festival. That was my last concert of Prince. It was the last song he played. It's the last time I saw him. And that was the one song that I wanted to hear live. And when that part started, I was crying, and my friends were like, "Sada, this is your song." I was like, "Yeah!" And then my friend got the set list from the stage, and she was like, "Oh, holy fuck!" It's like, "What?" She's like, "Look, the song wasn't even on the set list." So I was like, Prince did it for me. I just like to stay in that realm, of course, that he just performed it for me. But one other song that I really wanted to hear live was Endorphin Machine of his Gold album from the 90s. And he played that song in Belgium like 2 days before he came to the Netherlands. So I was like, oh, maybe he will play it here. But no, he didn't. That's just the one song. But I heard The Beautiful One, so I can live with that. And I saw him live, so.
Some of his 90s work was pretty good. Like, I know some people felt that, his 80s work was elite, and it is. But I thought he put out some good stuff in the 90s, man. And even in the early 2000s. He still always maintained consistency throughout his albums. Even if it wasn't as strong as his 80s.
90s. I love his 90s stuff, like the song that with My Days, like belly dancing in the video, and the whole bass, it already sounds like a whole porn movie to begin with. It's, oh my God. Also the lyrics that just like, panties flying through the room. But Pussy Control, which was another awesome song of his. But the whole thing, but then he got that part where he did, or that phase, I could say, with Sexy Motherfucker, like, sexy motherfucker, shaking that ass, shaking that ass. It was also a really good fucking song. And then he had the song on there, Arrogance. It's like a really small song, and what makes a man want to rule the world?
And like, you remember, he was putting out all these albums to get out of his contract with Warner Brothers. Because that's when, he was the symbol, the artist formerly known as Prince.
Yeah, that's the way he did that.
Yeah, he did all that to get out that Warner Brothers contract. Because he was fighting Warner Brothers because they had control of his music. And, he was getting a little bit tired of them. So I know in the 2000s, he got his masters for all his work. And then he started asking questions like, I only deal with people who owns their masters. And I remember when he told Nas that, Nas was kind of blown away by it because,
because forever he didn't have his own.
Yeah. And it's all, and Prince put in so much work creating this music within his own studio. He did not need studio money from Warner Brothers. He had his own studio. He made his own music. He did not need funding for it.
No, when he first came out, Shaun, he was in his first band. It was
I remember the band
Grand Central. And he was the guitarist. The lady that controlled it was the manager. She said, this guy's going to be a star. And she gave him money to go record. And he wanted to produce his own shit. He didn't want no one telling him nothing from Jump Street. And man, they had it out because of that. he was telling those guys when they said, "Do you think you need to do this?" He tell them to get out. Just wait. You're gonna hear my music the way I want you to hear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's a genius, man. You can't mess with him. You can't mess with him.
And those are the artists that, you know, you can't really tell them what to do. You know, Prince, you know, Stevie Wonder, Luther Vandross, all of them. You tell them what to do, they're gonna look at you like, nah, man, I'm gonna do what I do. And that what I do is great already. So, you know, telling a musical genius like Prince to, you know, to cut back on releasing so much music and stuff like that. Nah, man, Prince gonna look at you like, door.
He looked at him like,
door. But it's the same thing with
he'll give him the Jerome Puff.
Oh, we have Marcel in the house.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
You guys wouldn't be happening to talk about Prince, would you?
Oh, man, we non-stop, man.
Look at that nice shirt he's got on.
Yeah.
Good evening. But the Purple Rain shirt, you know, the whole album itself, it was basically, it was a live album. And he turned it into like a studio album that we know now. Because every song that you hear on the album, Purple Rain, is actually from a live performance. He was just checking if the audience was feeling the songs.
Yeah. Like, I kind of wish YouTube didn't have this bullshit copyright so we could just go through some of the music while we live streaming.
Sucks, right?
So, Marcel, welcome.
Hey.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
How did you discover Prince?
My audio is a bit weird.
Oh, it's just me.
It looks like there's a sort of delay between what I hear and what I say.
Oh.
Well, you're fine with me.
Yeah, you're fine with me too.
Mm.
Okay. Then it's just me.
Just you. You're good. Just say it. We got it. We're hearing it.
So
your introduction to Prince.
Yeah, I kind of like his music, yeah. I'm just...
Can you hear us?
This is really weird.
Yeah, that was a delay big time there.
I don't know, but I seem to hear everything twice.
Oh, so that means there's an echo on your part. Because if you're hearing things twice, then there must be an echo or something.
Let me check. Yeah. Okay.
Do you have your YouTube page up?
I hope this is going to be better.
So do you hear echo from us?
No, not from you at least.
What about me? Do you hear me?
No, it's I say something and then a couple of seconds later I hear it again.
I hear Shaun. I hear you fine, Shaun.
That's really weird.
Yeah, because normally we all can hear echo, but if he's the only one hearing it, then that's weird.
Yeah,
Mastodon say if you got YouTube pulled up, then you have to put it on mute.
Yeah. Hang on. That might be it. I indeed
Conspiracy.
have YouTube on. My apologies.
So
Shaun was right.
Better now.
Yeah, thanks.
So hi all.
Okay. Back to the question. How did you
what was the question?
To Prince?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what was your introduction to Prince?
My introduction. I think it was about when I was 16. I was visiting my uncle, who I knew was a big Prince fan, and we got this one. Well, he got that one. And, you know, since I was like, my parents were talking to him and I was kind of bored and I was into music. So I said, okay, can I listen to some music? And then, he gave me Love Sexy. and I put it on, and it's like I've been listening to it straight up, and I loved it. And I haven't been really a diehard Prince fan pretty much all my life. It's basically started, I don't know, 5-6 years ago that I really got into him. But Love Sexy was the part that had a good memory for me.
Alphabet Street.
Awesome.
It's just another underrated album of Prince in the 80s.
Yeah.
Along with Sign of the Times, even though Sign of the Times had 1 or 2 hits. I think mostly Sign of the Times was a big hit. But what I, for example, like about also collecting by Prince, like for example, the Batman album. I have 2 different versions of the Batman album. I don't know exactly what is, but one, the disc is more yellow and the other one is purple. And one is probably the first printing and the other is the second printing. It's almost like, shall I send it to CGC? Maybe I have like a key album.
No,
but that
to
kind
me.
of stuff gave me. But that stuff also gave me a kick, you know, like especially when it comes to Prince albums. Like if it's just like a slightly different thing, then I need to have it. Just like how I have the vinyl of Purple
So you
Rain,
need
I
that
have, like,
variant album.
Yeah, because this one has a sticker, and then I have one that doesn't have a sticker, and the other one that's a bit ruined. But I needed the one because of the sticker. Even just with a sticker, I would just buy it.
Yeah.
like some of the records, the stickers are on the plastic. Like I have a couple of records that I got from my father, and a lot of them still got the plastic on it. You know, but I keep the plastic because it got the stickers on it. So I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, you're gonna rip that off.
No.
Yeah. Especially because
speaking about Batman, I didn't bring it upstairs. I mean, I have too much to bring with me. But I was at a CD store in Eindhoven a couple of weeks ago, and I was buying something different. And then the guy behind the counter said, "You know, are you interested in this?" And he pulls up a Bat Dance 12-inch. And I was like, "Do I?" That was a no-brainer for me. And it was some sort of import Bat Dance 12-inch. And I thought, well, give me right now. So quite happy to have that one.
Did he charge a lot? Did he give you a good price?
He gave me a good price. Yeah.
There you go, and a good price.
That's something that's rare.
Yes, when they know they got something, they usually charge you for it.
Yeah, well,
especially now that he passed away.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like now, like when a musician that we all love passes away, their music skyrocket in terms of price, and people want to get the albums now. You know, it's trending on iTunes and Spotify. People going to listen to it. It's the same that happened with DMX recently. He passed away. Now everybody want to go after his music. Like, y'all should have been had the albums, man.
In a way, I don't feel that really happened with Prince. I don't see that his albums that are already out are all of a sudden more expensive. The only thing I did see is that all of a sudden we get these super deluxe editions that are like a couple of $100 or euros. And
with a bunch of extra
that's way out of my range. I mean, I didn't buy them because I don't have that kind of money for music. So in a way, I don't like it because, for example, with the Sign of the Times release, they have a concert included, you know, and I want to have that concert basically more than just the music. I mean, I love the concerts of Prince, but I'm not buying it because it's too expensive for me.
Yeah.
It was the same when I got this album. I got it, I think, for €5 first. It was years ago. But then he passed away, and then suddenly here was the Treasure Apollonia 6, and this one cost me €25 because it's related to Prince, and he passed away. But I was like, fuck it. It's been like almost 20 years since I've been looking for this album, and I'm willing to pay any money for it because here it is.
Yeah, you might not see it again. If you do, it's going to be on eBay and cost you anyway.
That's true. Too bad
I
that
know,
stuff is
like,
never
I totally
released on CD.
Yeah, you want something, you almost got to get it when you see it, man, because you never know. You never see it again. You're like, damn, I had it right in my hands.
True.
I actually bought the Girl 6 soundtrack album because that movie had Nasty Girl on it, and that album itself cost also like 25 euros. But I was like, I need that one song, Nasty Girl, and I'm willing to buy it for this soundtrack for Nasty Girl.
You know the movie I discovered Nasty Girl in? It's freaking Beverly Hills Cop. That was the first time I heard Nasty Girl was through Beverly Hills Cop.
A while back, I got this one, which is this way, a bootleg. It's Roadhouse Destiny, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has. This is a recording of rehearsals by Prince. It's just in a basement. They put up a camera and they just record everything.
That's badass. That's like being there with them.
But it has, as additional material, it has tracks from both Apollonia 6 and Vanity 6 on it. And that is the main reason why I wanted to have this.
Yeah, damn.
It's pretty much the videos they have out. But it included some of Vanity 6 that I never heard before because, well, to be honest, from Vanity 6, I only know the song Nasty Girl. I didn't know anything else. And there are a couple other things on it as well. So that was pretty cool. So
yes.
I was quite happy with
Drive
this one.
Me Wild is one of my favorites. I think I actually saw some of those basement performances on YouTube. And I was like, wow, this is actually on YouTube now? Like just small compilations? Everything is getting out of the dungeon.
Yeah.
You know what I love about Drive Me Wild is that it was the other one. That was singing. I forgot her name. Remind me on the name. But I always love the Vanity's presence in the background.
So we have Susan and Brenda.
Yeah. I think it was Susan that sung the lead. But Vanity in the background still attracted attention in that video. And it just shows how gorgeous she was, you know. And
she was the female version of Prince.
Yeah. I always looked at her as that female version of Prince. But, you know, Susan was pretty good herself, you know, as a singer.
That's true.
Yeah.
Shoot, they were wearing underwear on stage.
Yeah.
Pretty much,
we have a Dutch version of well, either Vanity 6 or Apollonia 6, which was called Centerfold, which was basically the same kind of thing. Three girls in sexy underwear.
Sexy underwear.
Singing. I got their album as well.
Nice. Nice. Hey, Steve, remember when we were saying earlier or last week about the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind & Fire have 45 albums between them?
Yeah.
Well, Prince got 39 albums, not including the greatest hits or the Posthumous album.
Yeah, and he didn't even go 40 years, so he's putting up 1 or 2 albums a year.
Yeah, he's putting out album after album every year.
That's why Warner Brothers got mad at him because he wouldn't push the other one. He goes, man, that's old news. I've got news. And they're like, man, we need to push this album 2 back that you didn't ever.
Yeah, because Warner Brothers wants to space it out. Well, Prince was like, nah, put it out now.
Pumping it out. He was getting gas every other day. He was pumping it out, man.
Yeah, I know. The other day I was reading something about Come, which was his last album for Warner Brothers, and The Gold Experience. And that he wanted to get them out both at the same time, but Warner Brothers didn't want it because
done with Warner Brothers. He wanted to take the slave out the side of his cheek.
Yeah. But despite the fact that Come is a bit of a vengeful album, I mean, it was the last one he did for Warner Brothers. I still think it has some really good tracks on it. I was surprised when I heard it, and one of my favorite tracks still, especially musically, is the title track "Come." I really love the music in that one. It's really funky, and I love the horn section in it. So I still play that quite a lot.
There's definitely a lot of Prince songs. Like when it comes to Prince, having that many albums, you got to have like I hate this when it comes to greatest hits albums because, Christ's sakes, Luther Vandross got like 20 greatest hits albums. And I'm like, can I just get one? you know, with everything on it.
Hey, can I do one and pick it and then you make it?
It's the same thing with Kiss, right? Kiss is releasing greatest hits records for the last 30 years almost.
I know, right? It's like, come on now. Can't y'all put like a 6-disc collection of all the hits? Since they got so much music. It's crazy.
It's like that with
But Prince also had a lot more movies, right?
Hey, I watched Sign of the Times. I watched Sign of the Times. That's not my favorite movie, but it did have some great scenes in it. And one of my favorite was the record store. When he get the girl to say record store. And the way that she said with her accent. And they start dying of laughter was hilarious.
But also Under the Cherry Moon. That's also love that movie. He's very sassy also with Jerome.
Yeah.
When he was still using bad language. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I still need to get that one. The only movie I have from him is Purple Rain. I don't have Under Cherry Moon. I haven't seen it even. And
I don't think I've seen that either. I don't think I've seen
I
that.
have it as a
Graffiti
bootleg.
Bridge, I also...
Graffiti Bridge, yes.
I saw there's a triple Blu-ray package with all 3 movies in it. So I'm probably gonna buy that one this summer.
Ooh.
Make sure I get them all.
This summer. I didn't know that they were all in one package.
I mean, he only got 5 movies. People forget about 3 Chains of Gold. That was the last one he did.
Okay. I heard about it. Now you
I didn't even know about that one.
I heard about it, but
he also did this concert, I think it was Rave in 2000, where he was like performing with Lenny Kravitz. That's when I was like, God damn it, Lenny Kravitz really is like the newer version. Well, I wouldn't say like Prince, you wish, but he comes close to it. Like in a very distant shadow, he would be a Prince. He would get the ladies as well, but like
he was supposed to come here and play Lenny Kravitz, and I had tickets to the show, and they said the microphone quality wasn't up to his standards. He won't sing tonight. I'm like, what the hell? He didn't sing. He canceled. Canceled. I think it had the Goo Goo Dolls and the Black Crows and someone else in it. And I love the Goo Goo Dolls, so I went and saw them. And when the Black Crows came, I left. I didn't even watch the Black Crows. They weren't my favorite. They do have a lot of good songs, but man, once I heard the Goo Goo Dolls, I've seen them like 3 times. I love them. They take their shoes off.
You saw them, but not Prince.
The concert starts.
Damn.
Their shoes go off, and they don't care.
Well, more than shoes go off when Prince is playing.
Yeah.
That's probably the one regret I have. I've never seen him live on stage.
Really? Am I the only one of the entire gang here that saw him live? Dang.
It sucks. I can't believe it, really. I have no excuse either. I could have seen him plenty of times. I was doing other shit that I should have been going to concerts, obviously.
But you're gonna hear from your wife and you're gonna hear from Sandy, so
yeah, I've seen it 3 times, so and midnight show, so that's even way
and
worse.
I could have seen him so much more. Because he was playing at Melkweg, Paradiso, like all the smaller venues, but then also the bigger ones. I saw more of the bigger ones, but the smaller ones.
He didn't do none of them small stuff around here, man. It was the big stuff.
It was always the big.
It was Miami, maybe Orlando. It wasn't Tampa that I can remember ever.
Trust me, if Prince would have came to the House of Blues in Orlando, I would have went.
Yeah. But I also think that it's like a European thing that he did more like the smaller concerts here, because I know that he was like, I mean, he probably said it in every country, but he said that he really loved Holland. He was like, oh, Holland, and everybody would go in the audience like, oh, Holland, and how he really loved playing in the Netherlands. And I think the Netherlands also because, for example, we have North Sea Jazz Festival where we really have a lot of soul artists also coming over here. So I think we kind of have like a thing for that type of music. so I think Prince noticed it in that way, because we got Larry Graham,
Yeah.
B.B. King, and who else?
A lot
Shaka Khan.
of those soul artists have a second life in Europe. You know, where their American run flames out, it's like Europe is a second life for them, and they can go over there and still sell out big venues and stuff like that.
Yeah, like even Tina Turner, that was a concert by this Dutch artist. Marcel probably knows him, Marco Borsato. He did the Red concert, whatever you call it in English, and suddenly there was Tina Turner coming to the Netherlands. It was like, what?
Oh man!
Basically next door.
We have some purple royalty here in the Netherlands, of course, which is Candy Dulfer.
Yeah.
Lois Lane.
Lois Lane as well.
Yeah. There were other. I think there was another one, but I forgot. But as I said early in the stream, you know, like Sheila E. would come here a lot, and still comes here a lot.
I would like to see Sheila E. I would like to see her. I bet that's awesome.
Me too.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
She can throw down on them drums, man.
She has a lot of energy when you see her perform, which is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would probably die. Because I believe there were like rumors going around that she was going to perform together with The Time, doing a whole tour, right, as a tribute to Prince.
Oh,
I don't know if that ever happened, but
there's no doubt. When you throw Morris Day in there, oh hell yeah!
And you know we're gonna get crazy with the Morris Day and his dancing.
And he's got to have drums
in the movie. You know, he like
I'll be bringing my mirror, you know, holding it up.
Yeah,
like,
that always cracks me up. Someone bring me a mirror. He has to check his hair, you know, make sure his shit is right. And then to the south.
The funny thing is, now that you mentioned The Time, I think The Time is I discovered them before I even heard of Prince. Because when I was about 12 years old, a guy that lived around me, he had a 12-inch of Jungle Love. And he played it to me, and it's like, oh man, I love that song. I had no idea who they were. I had no idea, never heard of Prince, but that always stuck with me. And then later on, I realized, okay, Prince wrote it, and you know, they're connected. And it's like, wow,
you know what song I discovered The Time? Freaking Fishnets.
Fishnets.
Oh, black pantyhose.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Remember, he sang Oak Tree too. Oak Tree was good too.
Yeah, but Fishnets was like the first time I discovered The Time before I heard the earlier stuff, and I was like, damn, I'm looking at the ladies in the fishnets. I was like, oh Lord, you know, you being a young boy, you know, you watching this stuff, it's like you want to see it again.
But I'm kind of disappointed with that they cut it out of the Purple Rain movie. Is the whole dialogue Morris has before Jungle Love, like, you want to learn a new dance? If I ain't ever doing it, I don't want to see you no more. You know, the whole sassiness of him.
Yeah.
And then how he goes like, white folks, let's go.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He is he's so sassy. And the whole leopard skin jacket.
I loved it at the beginning when he was vacuuming his normal home. You know?
Yeah, had his freaking hair thing on.
and then he got to put his clothes on, look all fly and stuff. And then later on, he was telling Apollina, like, you know, I got a big house, you know
I got a chef.
Italian chef.
You're living in a regular apartment, but vacuuming up the carpet and stuff. I'm like, stop.
But also, when he says, like, keep the change.
Freaking chef.
And then, get my chains back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a trip in that movie, I swear.
He's funny as hell.
Oh,
yeah. He's amazing. So funny. So underrated as well. And, you know, he's a star in the movie.
He had a lot of time in that movie. He got a lot of airtime in that movie, man, really. Yeah, that really helped him a lot.
Yeah.
He just has such charisma. You know, everything he says is hilarious, it's funny, yet you know, he's energetic enough to keep you attached to his character.
Yeah, he's funny,
even
if he was kind of a dick in the movie,
But you still like, yo, this guy entertaining. I can't truly hate on him, man.
Yeah, but this was also a dick in the movie, right? I mean, he beats women. He doesn't give Wendy Elisa a shot.
But see that part
he definitely has daddy issues.
That part in the middle, like he stopped his father from beating the mother. Then Apollonia comes. He gives her the chain and all that. Then she tells him, "I'm joining Morris Day group," and he's like, "What?"
What?
And he just smacked her like that. I was like, "Damn, and that's where Dove's cry comes into play, because he became his father right there in the instant. He didn't even think about it. He turned into his father, and he immediately regretted it. And I was like,
"Hey, Shaun, they be canceling him today. Cancel Prince. You can't cancel Prince, man.
No, Prince will cancel you.
Yeah, Prince cancels you. You don't cancel Prince."
But it's also like really bad timing. I mean, she gives him a guitar, like, oh, like this is the guitar.
Yeah, this beautiful guitar she's paid dollar money up for.
It's like, oh man, and then she's like, "You like it? Yeah, I'm joining Morris's group." I'm like, that's so bad timing.
Wow.
Well, he was going to help her, like she says to Morris, like, the kid's gonna help me, and he's like, "Well, kid ain't helping nobody.
The kid don't help no but himself."
Yeah.
That's why he had her running out the club when he did Darling Nikki.
Yeah. Yeah.
But one of my favorite moves that he does is when he's on that speaker thing, but he actually grabs his foot and he's really like pushing it. I was like,
he was bad, man. He was bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, Steve, you saw Max Washington?
Yeah, I heard about that. I would love to see that.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And she's dancing and she's like, "Get off my stage."
I
believe I saw that, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to see that.
Good thing.
You don't need a Kardashian on stage. Get her off.
No.
She got no talent anyway.
No, zero.
True. Let's see. I'm just gonna drop the link in the chat if there are people that want to join. I don't know, but it's fun to talk with more Prince fans. I mean, this is definitely something that we're probably going to do more often, because there's just too much to talk about. Like we could talk about all the women that he wants, like an entire stream.
Yes.
Like with Sheila E. and all the stuff. We can talk about the Prince songs that were covered by others, like Shaka Khan, Sheena Easton, Sinead O'Connor, Bangles, Alicia Keys, all the good stuff.
That's funny. I watched a live version of that from, how they do the live versions from the home because of the COVID of Susanna Hoff singing that song. She sang Manic Monday, and she sang it good. And she's like 62 years old, and she's still, oh man. Wow. I was in love with that girl. I said, "Oh man, she's just." I never say that loud.
There's an album out now. I think it's more like a white album-ish thing, and there is a Prince version on it of Manic Monday.
Originals.
Like,
yeah, because I heard the other one with Sinead O'Connor. Nothing compares to you. I heard him sing that, but I like Sinead O'Connor's. I love hers, man.
Yeah,
but the family was interesting. A version that was released in 1985.
Yeah, I don't know that version. I always, loved Sinead O'Connor's version, and for that reason, I kind of did not like Prince's version. But right now, it's pretty much the other way around. Now I love Prince's version. I
got to hear it
so much.
Doing that, because I didn't like it either that much. Maybe sometimes you need to hear something a few times before you like really get it. Because when I first,
especially when he's singing,
I thought that
Rosie
song was terrible. I remember I said, I hate that song. And then I'm like, damn, that song's pretty good. I'm like, damn, I really like this song. Then I really found out what it was about. And I was like, all right.
I remember seeing Let's Work live. It was my first concert of Prince. Sorry. But he was playing Let's Work, and I never really dig the album version until I heard it live. And now I totally love the album version. It's sometimes you have to see it live and experience it live to see what it is about, and then suddenly, boom, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. You know, when you see a lot of live versions of it, the songs tend to feel different, you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, they have a lot more energy, which I love very much. And that's the reason why I love to see concerts of Prince.
Yeah,
and
that one
I
you
really
got
hope they'll bring out more.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
Especially when you really see him live.
Oh, here we go. I knew it's coming. She's going to let us know she saw all 3 of them and some midnight shows. I would love to see a midnight show. That would be awesome.
But the
you
whole
imagine just being in a club thinking nothing and he walk in? Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. He did a lot of that in the Netherlands, and I feel so stupid, especially the last few years that he was still alive and he was coming to the Netherlands. He was playing in such small venues as well, and that I didn't go because it was either work. Like, I should just let myself fire just to see Prince. It would have been worth it, you know? I got fired.
Called out. I was called out, man.
That's true.
Hey, Shaun, you know what other song I really liked the Prince's was Lady Cab Driver.
Yeah, that was a good song too.
That was a good song. It was kind of, it wasn't real fast, but it had a nice groove to it. It was nice.
That was the one thing about Prince is that he has so many elements within his music. You know, like as soon as you hear your head is nodding to the beat, you know, he throws in the funk, he throws in the Minneapolis sound, he got the rock.
Then he throws in a freaking electric guitar at the end.
Electric guitar, a little bit of jazz in there. I mean, he has so many sounds to his music.
Man, when you hear Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad, and you hear the end of those guys playing guitar, you'll be like, you're at a rock concert. I swear. It's crazy how all 3 of them are playing the guitar at the end. And I bet you Animation haven't heard that song, have you? Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad.
Well, I know the song.
Early one. That's off of one of his early albums.
I mean, I have all of his albums.
But I want you to look it up and watch it to the end. Make sure you see it to the end.
I will.
At the end they jam the guitars.
I will do that. I gotta check it out.
It's a more of a skating, because I grew up in the skating rink, and I Want to Be Your Lover was like, you know, perfect skating song, and so was Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. So that made me really like them more, because I heard them every weekend when you'd go. They'd always play the hottest songs, and Prince was freaking on everything. So
that's true.
Yeah.
And then you get those extended versions that they always released back in the day, the 12 inches that had like 6, 7, 10 minutes, you know, of music. And, you know, I kill for those, the extended version.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
That was my first Prince concert. Yay!
You guys are just rubbing it in, man. Y'all going to cause me to have to go off. I'm having palpitations. Damn, I didn't see him live. That burns me up.
Don't worry. Hey, Steve, I'm right there with you, man. But don't worry, man. You ain't got to jump off just because they going to rub it in, man.
Hey, Sandy, me and Puff got a chord. Freaking...
You got a storm?
Earth, Wind, and Fire or any of them guys come anywhere near us, we're going no matter what. If it's in Orlando, I go there. If it's in Tampa, he comes here. We're going to go see him every time we get a chance. Any group that you haven't seen, especially if they're older, you need to go see them.
Yeah,
that's
you won't get another chance. You never know, man, the way things go now.
I had the same thing with Donna Summer. She was also an artist that I really wanted to see live, because live she's actually really good. And she was playing, I think, also at North Sea Jazz Festival. I'm not sure, but I didn't go. And it's not that long afterwards she passed away. And I was like,
yeah, she was beautiful too.
I fucked up. Also,
oh yeah,
Grace Jones is another artist I would love to see live. She's fucking wacky as fuck, but she has really good music.
Grace Jones is another one.
I can only remember her in the Bond movie. That's just right in my head.
See, I love her in Boomerang. You know, she was hilarious in Boomerang. And of course, Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah. You know, that's the one BB knows her from.
Because my mom had a VHS tape of Grace Jones with two of her video clips on. Like one of them was "Slave to the Rhythm," and I was like, "Oh, watch this." And I was like, "This is the weirdest shit that I've ever seen." Like her face would become very long, and she's like looking very freaky in the camera. I was like, "What is this?" But then the more I listened to her, I was like, "Shit, she's actually really good." I've seen her perform live a few times. Like I think she was also at maybe even North Sea Jazz Festival. I don't know. Like everybody goes there, but she's like smoking weed in the audience, and she was like just there in the audience. I'm like, shit.
Grace Jones is one of those personalities that's she's outgoing like that. She's weird, but at the same time, she's a nice person. You know, like you get to talk to her. She's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's an amazing performer. I've never seen her live, but I've saw a video of a performance of her a long time ago when she was, let's say, not fully dressed, but had some body paint on. And she was, I mean, she's not that young anymore, but she could still sing and you know, give a great performance. I was very impressed, by the way. But you know, I remember her from the Slave to the Rhythm days, which is still one of my favorite songs.
Also, her version of "Love Is a Drug" is amazing, especially when you have the remix version because there's extra beats in the background. Awesome. Or "Strange I've Seen It Face Before." That's the other one. I forgot the title, but LL Cool J did "My Jamaican Guy." LL Cool J did doing it like.
Yeah, that was.
But she had like "My Jamaican Guy." That was her version of the song. She is.
And you know, it's funny that a lot of my music history, in terms of what my parents grew up, because they had the radio on nonstop, so I listened to a lot of the '60s, '70s, and even '80s music. So when a rapper uses the sample, I automatically know where it originated. Whereas most kids think that at that time they thought it was new music.
They thought they originated it. Yeah, I'm like,
nah. They thought Biggie's "Juicy" was brand new. I'm like, bro, that was used on "Juicy Fruit" by Ntume. Come on now.
Hey.
But it's the same. It's you have Madonna. Madonna released "Justify My Love" in like 1990 or 1991, but it's actually a song, or the sample's actually from Public Enemy, which was actually not that old at the time. They have Lenny Kravitz singing in the back. I like, especially during those days with whole samples, and I'm like, I know this song, and I would crack my brain, and that's the one. And also Prince's version, like on samples, and from that one famous interview, like, when I get on the stage, my microphone is on.
Yes, yeah, and that's another thing that we have not talked about. Prince's interviews. That man, like every interview he's a part of, he always has this little arrogance about him, this being extra, but he always know how to say his words properly.
Did you see his very first interview with Dick Clark?
Yes,
oh God, he froze up, and he asked him how many instruments he could play, and he was like he was counting them in his head.
Yeah, like he was like the science of the side, but yeah, he still had a little arrogance.
He still had that little bit of, I know I'm good and shit. I don't care. I know I'm badass, but
it's the guy that would show up in leopard underwear.
The guy he did an interview with, he grew up with. He said it was from his same neighborhood. The guy that he trusted to do interviews with. He didn't trust very many people.
Yeah, he had to become comfortable with it.
Yeah,
and then he just sometimes interviews where Prince just owns it. Like he'll come in there and he'll talk, but he'll make some sly remarks on certain things.
He did it when he had the slave on his face. They go, "What's that slave on your face?" And he just looks up. "What do you think?" I didn't know you, man.
Yeah,
you don't even need to be here interviewing me.
Yeah, he had a way with interviews that was unique.
Yeah, that's true. That's why
Eating
I'm
a
so happy
cracker.
there's YouTube, because there's all these interviews are resurfacing on YouTube, and often I just start browsing through YouTube, and then okay, an interview, okay, and I watch it, and another one pops up, and I spend the whole evening just
put you
watching
on
the
path,
interviews,
Then the next thing you know, I'm watching like 3-hour documentaries and shit, and I know everything about them. I'm like, I got all this information.
I tend to just I tend to read and watch everything I come across. I mean, yesterday I came across a blog of a pop website, and they listed the 15 best albums of Prince. I think it was 5 or 6 people that voted, and it was interesting to see their top 15 and see if I could relate to it. And I was in a way I was surprised that Purple Rain wasn't number 1. I believe that. Sign of the Times.
But that's also a thing. When people are just fans of the 80s hits of Prince, they will always pick Purple Rain.
Exactly.
But when you also know the 90s stuff and the zeros,
the same thing. It depends on who's voting. Exactly.
But if you really know everything of his discography, it's like, nah. I mean, it's a really good song. I mean, I will play it at my funeral, along with November Rain of Guns N' Roses. But damn it! But yeah,
the man has 39. The man has 39 albums. It's hard to even try and say that Purple Rain's number 1 across the board, because you can't have 39 albums and yet only one is just like number 1. No, there's so many albums to choose from.
It's like the Isley Brothers we were talking about, Sean. They have so many, man. What's number 1? It could be number 1 for you is totally different.
I mean, shoot,
that's true.
Out of 39 albums, I could have 12 of them, and they could all be number 1.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's true. And I think along the way, I think along the way, there are some albums that have a certain meaning for you. I mean, when I started out, it was mainly, Purple Rain I knew, and then later on I got to discover other albums, and along the way I started to realize that the Gold Experience is actually one of my favorite albums. I mean, there are songs on it, and I've collected other things related to that album. One of my favorite songs, The Hate Experience. I Hate You. It's definitely it's maybe it's even my favorite Prince song ever. I love that song. So
I really love Endorphin Machine.
Yeah.
Pussy Control.
How we know that one would hit it? What about Soft and Wet?
The funny thing is, the Gold Experience actually won me this book. It's a Dutch one. Yes. It's a biography of Prince by Matt Thorne. It was a nice read. I don't know. This is the only one I've read so far from him, and I didn't agree on everything with the guy, but it was fun because the publisher had on Facebook they had a contest, and all you had to do was tell your favorite song, and if you look at the list, it was all the known songs, and I came up with I Hate You, and it's like, they picked me, so I'm happy with it.
That's how I won a Madonna contest one, because everybody was picking all her hits, and I was like, I really like Bad Girl, because that song and video is really, really good with Christopher Walken in the video clip as well. It's a very underrated Madonna song. But also, I forgot the name of the album, but you have a song 7, like, oh, 7, and we lost them. It's also that one, which I also have 2 versions of. I should actually grab my albums one day and then show all the different versions of it. The variant cover, as you said.
The thing about the Gold Experience, though, is why it's in my top 5 is because I posted the song on Wednesday, The Most Beautiful Girl in the World.
Yeah, that's an awesome song. Yeah.
I always loved that song, from the musical arrangements, Prince singing and the hook. It's a phenomenal song, and like you said, the Gold Experience is just a great album, phenomenal album.
Yes. And
people kind of overlook it because of the 80s work, but I don't don't dismiss the gold experience. And I remember, I think it was on the Start Me Up show where they talked about that Prince kind of fell off after he got rid of the Revolution, and he started doing the symbol and stuff. But I was like, he still put out quality. He still put out quality albums in the 90s.
Definitely, a lot of them.
Yeah,
and the Zeros. Let's not forget that.
No,
and also Third Eye Girl. That's also a really great band. Like the version that I posted today of Let's Go Crazy. Like he would like revisit his own song and put a remix out. It's like, yeah, this is even better than the original.
And Prince can do that because
yeah,
he's that type of musician that can take an old song, remix it, and make it even better. Because he's just like, man, I'm so good. I'll put a little spice on this and just elevate it.
Hey, who else has made their whole city a sound? The Minneapolis sound. There was no Minneapolis sound.
No.
Then Prince made that shit and said, "I'm staying here," and everyone's like, "Yeah, that's the Minneapolis sound."
Prince created,
and all them followed, and I mean, and it's a whole thing, man. What was it? The nightclub they went to, man. Where they sang all the songs, where they battled in there. That was crazy, man. That would have been an awesome scene to go to.
Prince created a sound. He created a sound that everybody wanted to emulate because it was so damn good. Remember when Ready for the World came out with Oh Sheila?
Yeah.
For a long time I thought it was Prince.
Yeah, because it has that Minneapolis sound, and they from Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't see. I got to see them in concert though. So.
Hey, but it's funny that you mentioned the most beautiful girl in the world. Every time I am at a place where they sell CDs, I look for Prince or I look for Prince related. And a while back, I got something that I thought, okay, this is something special. It's the only album from, I believe, if I say it correctly, Matey, one of his ex-wives. She also danced with him.
Yeah.
I got that album, and there is a song on it, The Most Beautiful Boy in the World. It's exactly the same song, but, gender reversed.
Gender reversed with her
sung
singing
by
it.
her.
Wow, damn.
Yeah, I was really
maybe
happy
it was
when
meant
I got
for
that
their
album.
unborn son.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Damn it! Now.
Well,
Marcel, I'm gonna kill you if you're gonna snap. If you're gonna find those vanity albums before me, and you'd be like, "Hey, look what I found on Instagram." I'm gonna come for you.
Oh boy, block.
And this one song I do want to touch on, and that's 1999.
Oh boy.
That song, like, you think it's a party song, and it is, but when you really listen to it, it's almost as if they're saying, well, the world's about to end, so let's just party until 1999. Because remember when 2000 hit, they thought, everything gonna get shut down because of the 2K thing. So it's almost like Prince kind of predicted a lot of shit in that song.
And it became a hit again.
Yeah.
I remember that it was on the charts again, like in 1999. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, because everybody was playing it because it's 1999.
Yeah.
I remember New Year's Eve, 1998. That song was getting played a lot, man, because it was like, we heading into 1999.
Here it comes.
And how people were like, I remember my mom saying, like, when it was released, it was like 1999 is still so far away. And now here we are. It's like, oh, that's already 20 years ago.
That's 20 years ago. 20 freaking years ago. Freaking time's flying, man.
What I like about 1999's version on the Rave Until the Year 2000 show is at the end, the intro, they keep it going, and that's like, for me, it's like, keep it going, man. I love this. I really love the intro of that song. As far as I'm concerned, they can drag it on as long as possible.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do intros for like 30 minutes. Because the first night at Noche Jazz Festival, the only song that he played that was kind of known was like Purple Rain, at least for the fans that came there for the 80s hits. So they were like slightly disappointed. Well, they were like, oh, what the fuck was this? And I was like, whoa, I was like at the jam session of Prince. It was so badass. He played this song and that song. People were like, I don't know that song. I was waiting for Raspberry Beret. Oh! He was, oh gosh, he had the power. And but that's also a fun thing, I guess, with Prince fans. You know, you have the ones that really enjoy the hits, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And then you have those others that know so much more, all the 90s and zeros, because even the zeros is underrated. You know, when My Guitar, that song was coming out, I thought it was pretty cool. I ran to the music store to get it, and Musicology, which is also a great, or
yeah, I think I got
Sweat.
Musicology.
Black Sweat is also a song. I'm like,
3121.
It's like it's like let's dance. But you know, even I can't. This one is actually still sealed. That's just how much I suck. But this is also a newer album, I think.
MPL Sound.
Yeah. By the way, do you know that? Because I thought I think there's a comic book now out of the MPL Sound. I think I saw.
Not that album, but Lotus Flower. That was the album when I bought it. That definitely turned me into not only a Prince fan but a collector as well. I saw it at a CD store. And it was like €7.50 for a 3 CD set.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, that's not a lot of money. I can risk that. I wasn't that into Prince yet, so I just took a wild guess with it because it was no hits. And I came home and I put it on and it was like, wow, this is awesome. And from that moment on, it was like, okay, this is amazing. I want to know more. And that's when I started digging more outside the hits. I mean, until then, it was mainly the hits. But from that point on, I started really getting into his music that was relatively unknown to people. And then I found out, you know, he had so much amazing stuff out there and started collecting. And I think I have about 30 CDs in my collection so far, or maybe even more. I haven't counted yet.
And there's so much more. And then you get all the bootlegs, because there are so many bootlegs. Like the one bootleg from '86, I think, from the German show that is also fucking amazing. Or how I know this version that I posted, that's the Manchester sound, but then there's also the Dutch performance of the Arnhem show, or that there's one show in America that's also very famous. That's like in my head, like I know that entire live version that I could just sing along, and then you see the exact same concert happen again, but it's totally different because that's in the '80s. Prince was more like the artist that how everybody did it. They had like a set list. They would play it every single night. But later on, like Prince became that artist like, hey, I'm just gonna play whatever the fuck I want, and and that's what he did, and that's what makes him, at least me, so awesome compared to like a Michael Jackson, who was very, I mean, no disrespect to Michael Jackson, but Michael Jackson was very repetitive. Like he did the same shit, just different outfit. He was moonwalking the night away, and
yeah. I had one live DVD from Michael Jackson. I actually threw it out because they were more focusing on all the girls that fainted and screamed than on the music. And I thought, like, no way, I don't need this. I'm watching a DVD for the musician, not for the people that faint.
That man stood there for 30 minutes doing nothing, and all you see is people fainting.
Yeah, exactly.
I got the VHS of that. It was like, golly, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, yeah. But I hear you. I mean, I'm starting in bootlegs as well. I got a couple. Playtime for Versace, yeah. And this one is also pretty. This one's really good. This is a soundboard recording of a Prince and Third Eye Girl show. This one is really good. I mean, you don't hear the audience, and he does play hits, a lot of them, but this is really awesome. But this one as well. But put it this way. This is
from the Switzerland show, that one festival, jazz.
Live at Montreux.
Yeah. Oh. Is it that one?
This way. This one. This is originally a laser disc. I believe it was released in Japan, and they did a rip to a DVD. This is not really a concert. It's more of a kind of a show. It's a weird setting. You have the daughter of Marvin Gaye, Nona Gaye, watching a computer screen, feeling not pretty, and she wants to feel good. And then she's watching Prince. But you get all the great stuff. You get the most beautiful girl in the world, and you get a lot of tracks from Come and from the Gold Experience, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, and it features a song that I've really become to love from the Crystal Ball album, Days of Wild.
Nice.
When I hear that song, my volume goes to 11, definitely.
Only 11? I need that one show, whatever. That's such a good show. Again, Europe, where all the magic happens with Prince.
Yeah, but he did 3 shows in Montreux. Well, in 2013, he did 3 shows. The first 2 were just him as sort of singer and band leader. And the third show was with him and Third Eye Girl, where he picked up the guitar, which is more the rock show. But the first 2 were very impressive, especially the NPG horn section. That rocks. That really rocks. They are on YouTube, so I could say, look them up.
Oh yeah, like every once in a while a Prince concert goes on.
If you need to, I have them on DVD.
Hey Pup, can you imagine them playing Erotic City today on the radio?
The radio, man.
Bleep, bleep.
The radio is playing too much trash now to even want to play Prince, man.
Yeah, they won't play nothing like that.
And go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to say, like, in the 80s, you had the Holy Trinity, right? You have Michael Jackson, Madonna, and Prince. And even Madonna, I was talking about it yesterday with Gabby and Simone, how she did like a virgin during the Blonde Ambition tour. And the Pope was like, I don't want her to play here. Arrest her if she touches herself. And in Canada, she was almost arrested for fucking on stage. And she was touching herself. And nowadays, they're literally like naked on stage and banging each other just to sell hits. And Madonna did it in the sultry way. And she got all the shit, And Prince, likewise, he was singing a lot about sexual things. And he got a shitload of shit over it. But he opened so many doors. And
how about the Prince song? The Prince song, Jack You Off, would not make it today.
Yeah, no, hell no.
Woo!
Holy crap, man.
Oh man, Prince was so ahead of his time, man. To the point now everybody is showing their sexuality.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you saw it a lot. You saw it with Madonna. Like Justify My Love was like a big deal, like on MTV back then. Like even like a documentary, I think a year and a half of Metallica. Lars Ulrich is watching. Like, oh, I think I saw a bit of her bush, like it was a big deal. Well, she's just like walking the hotel. She's like kissing a girl. And nowadays, it's like literally naked, the tits out, and like Rihanna, for example, like literally walking around naked in a video clip. So
yeah, Madonna still does it. I mean, I don't know if anyone of you saw the Rebel Heart show, the latest tour. Well, before Madame X then, but. She's still, I mean, she's close to 60 and she's still pretty steamy on stage. And if not her, then at least her dancers. I mean, in the Rebel Heart tour, there's at least one dancer walking around topless for quite some time,
Wow, man.
She already did that with the Girly Show back in 1992, where basically it starts in the stripper pole, and there's I believe Jenny Shimizu, I think, that she's already like naked, like on the pole. But I've seen Madonna a few times, and she is definitely an artist that you should see live, because I think a lot of people will have to say something about Madonna, but once you see her live, you're like, damn, she really is a performer. And you can say she can sing, she cannot sing. It doesn't matter. Once she's up on that stage, she just grabs you by the balls, and she just holds your attention. And she gives quite a show. The last one I saw was MDNA. Then that was back in 2012. But when she's coming around this area again, I'm going again, because she's one of those legends that you just have to see live, because she always does something that
the last
Awesome.
80s icon. So I got to see her as well. If she comes, I'm going to go as well.
And when you said the Trinity of the 80s, she's the only one left out of that.
She is.
Yeah.
And that's so sad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing people can do now is like, oh, she changed her face again. She did this again. She did that again. But once the unfortunate day happens that she passes away, suddenly people will give her the credit that she actually deserves. Like, hey, she actually changed a lot of things. Like, for example, Like a Prayer, the most misunderstood song out there. It's about oral sex, but people think it's about, singing about the Lord.
That song got so much heat when they came out.
But then when you look at the video clip, where she's already like very social conscious about, there's a crime being committed, but there's happens to be a black man happens to be there who gets arrested. Like, she's already showing that whole awareness, and a lot of people just don't pick up on that shit. Like, she has a lot of those messages in her video clips.
They just want to focus on what they feel is negative.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But she's an amazing artist. She can dance, and even though she doesn't sing like Mariah Carey, but she can hold a note when she's singing live. Like, she doesn't mean that she always sings live, but try singing live when you're moving around like she does.
I remember when I found out that Just a Virgin was produced by Nile Rodgers from Chic. I was like, what? He did that? He produced that song? Because, I love Chic. Freak Out and all their songs. So that was pretty surprising.
But also how it's very Billie Jean, the bass line. Similar, like a Virgin.
Like, between that and Thriller, I've seen Billie Jean so many times as a kid. Like, the visuals of him walking on the ground and the lights up, and then he do a spin on it. I was like, oh man, that was the most coolest thing I've ever seen. It still is. Every time I watch that video, man, it's amazing how great that video holds up.
Yeah, I really love the Smooth Criminal video because it really reminds me of some of the Fred Astaire movies and how he does it his own way, the whole gangster and
the
I just, I remember the time I bust my face trying to do that damn lean forward shit, man. I was like, I don't know how he do it. He had string or something, man, but I couldn't do it.
But, again, Prince was so versatile, and then he could sing. He wrote his own lyrics, and he wrote good lyrics. He wrote genius lyrics as well. And all the stuff that he did also, helping out other artists, even if it was just for one song. But hey, he did it for you. And you have to purify yourself, like Minnetonka.
Yeah. That's still the funniest scene of that movie.
I know he must have served them all pancakes, because you can't serve just Charlie Murphy pancakes, man. I know everybody had to make pancakes, man. But yeah, Prince was just this stream really brought out the best of us discussing our enjoyment and love for Prince, because I always say that we in this community for comics, but music brings everybody together, and I love talking music. We did the hip hop shows and the funk show, and anytime I can talk music, I'm down for it.
Yeah, and I think. Go ahead.
I always say, I love comics. I love to talk about them. I love to read them. But the words of John Miles are so true. Music was my first love. I mean, before I could read, I listened to music, and that stuck with me. My taste in music changed over the years, and it's settling down now in the purple dust. but music is there forever. And I always say, the one thing I truly love is to sit back, read a comic book, and have some music on the background.
Yes.
Yeah, because you can remember a song and it takes you back to a fun time when you were a kid or whatever.
Yes.
And the best thing about a song is one you forgot about and you just lost, and then you hear it and you're like, oh man, I haven't heard that song for so long, and I remember this, and it takes you back to
hey Steve, it drives me crazy when you have a song in your head
but you can't get it on YouTube to get it. You know how it sounds.
Well, I'll say this: thank God for YouTube, because it made me rediscover songs that I've forgotten about.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because just like we was talking about earlier, it leads you. This song leads you to this one, to this one, to this one. It's just like that in the information autobiography.
And I ain't gonna front. I'll be on YouTube and I see them videos. I bring up the YouTube downloader, download the video, download the MP3. I'll do it all because I'm like, I got to have this, man. I got to have this. This is the music I grew up with, and I forgot this song.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, man, you forget a song that you loved, and you're like, damn, I remember that, and blah, 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 and it takes you back to a great
good
time.
memories, sad memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's rooted deep in, I think, everybody, but I think mostly our generations, you know, how, because we grew up constantly with the radio, CD, and then during the weekend when there was like the top 40 that you had to put in effort, and hopefully the DJ would not talk through the song at the end. That would ruin everything while you were like press play record. I think our generation that experienced that appreciate it more rather than the easy downloadable stuff.
Yeah, I still got all my mixtapes I recorded off the radio, man. And you know how many times I'll get pissed off when the DJ is talking. I'm like, shut the fuck up so I can hit record.
Yeah. And you got your mixtapes, and you're hoping they don't interrupt them. You know, like when they would do a jam night, you know how they do the, you know, okay, at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we're going to play all jam skate music. And I'd be hit my record, and then I'd hear this dude, this was it. I'm like, damn, man, you're messing. Then I have to edit that out. Spent all kinds of time doing that.
Yep. I had a Sony karaoke, and I knew exactly where on the stereo box on the TV I had to hold the little microphone and then press record. But then sometimes I had my mom calling me in the back, like, Summer, like, Mom, you're doing the fucking song. Like, I didn't know you were recording. Like, fuck! Finally, the song was on. I was been waiting all day. I'm fucking empty.
Do you guys have a radio station that's been on like forever? Where you guys are, like this station has been on. Like we got one here, Q105. That shit has been here since I was moved here when I was 7 years old. That station is still going today.
I think Radio 10 that plays mostly the classic, or at least now we say the classics. Well, they already called it the classics. Now it's good.
There's one. Well, it's not a station. It's more a show from when I was a kid. When I listened to it, it's called Soul Show Radio, and it's been going on for 40 years.
Yeah,
and it was on the radio. But the guy, the DJ is retired now, but he just started his own internet station called Soul Show Radio. You know, and he plays just soul music, but he plays quite a bit of Prince as well. So that's always nice. We had a station here, and you could hear just pop music. But if I wanted to hear funk and stuff like that, I would go to my buddies. They listen to WTMP, and that was where, you know, most of the black music was played. And they jammed down, and that's what I would listen to, and that's where I would record all my stuff. And I think that, I don't know if that station went away, and then we were stuck with nothing. Man, I've tried to get stations from Miami because they jam down in Miami real good. I don't know about Orlando, Shaun, how good they jam there, but Miami, man, we go down there and work. Boy, they have some good stations down there.
They messed up the R&B station down here because they used to play all the old school R&B, and then all of a sudden they started mixing in hip hop with it, and it's like current hip hop. And I'm like,
yeah, because I like to hear the R&B and that separate.
Yeah, and it turned me off, so I just go to satellite radio and listen to the old school
That's what we do now. Yeah, we go to satellite. And you put your favorite artist in, and then they play all the kind of songs, similar songs.
Either that, or I'll bring up Spotify and just put on the stations that I like.
Yeah.
Like I go on, I put on Lakeside, and then I play Lakeside, and then it'll play the Gap Band and other songs all in there. but it always goes back to Lakeside here and there. And if it don't, then I fast forward through until they make it come back on.
Yeah. Like I have, and sometimes I don't like that because when I look up a Patti LaBelle or Whitney Houston station, I expect to listen to nothing but their music. But then
they always throw in something similar.
Yeah, they throw in, and then it might be a song that I don't like, and I'm like, I gotta skip that. Go to a song that I actually like and shit. So,
hey, Shaun, I was on the long trip to Miami, and I put on the Isley Brothers versus
Earth,
Wind and Fire again. And I listened to the whole thing all the way down because I knew it was super long, and I wanted to be engaged. And I listened to it. I was just every time I heard Steve Harvey talk, I'd say, "Man, Shaun's over there going, shut up," so I could hear them talk.
I swear to God, man, Steve Harvey just every time they play a song, Steve Harvey got to tell the story about back in 1976, when I heard this song, I was with a girl, and I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, man. I want to hear the band talk.
These lyrics, and I didn't know if she was home or not. Wasn't no cell phone.
Oh my God, Steve, you ain't got to tell the story. That's why in the second half they had to tell him, hey,
they did
play nothing but the music.
Down. He didn't say nothing hardly.
He ain't say nothing because we was getting sick of him, man.
I think all of our love for music basically stopped at the end of the 90s because we all are mentioning artists from like 20 plus years ago, and then not current stuff. The whole current thing is like,
yeah, the current thing.
Like,
I'm out of the current
put
thing.
on Casey and the Sunshine Band, and then I'll be totally like, woo!
Yes, play that funky music, white boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Get Down Tonight. It's amazing.
And this is why that music is timeless. You can still listen to it and it still resonates with you. Yeah. It has impact. When I did the show with Mastodon talking about Stevie Wonder and songs in the key of life, that album still to this day feels more relevant and more important than anything that came out over the last 10 years.
That's true.
Yeah,
they sample those songs.
They were really
man, all those type songs.
Plus, those artists back then, they were like rehearsing every single day because they wanted to be on that radio. So they kept pushing themselves really heart and soul and sweat and tears were put into those songs. So that music is just more meaningful, I think, in my opinion. Because I think I know that Gabby, for example, she's like 26, but she really loves like 70s music, 80s music, and a lot of people just more gravitate to the real music.
Yeah, my daughter would call me up and say, "Dad, tell me some of those old songs to listen to." I'm like, "Really? I told you this was going to happen." And I would send her songs. I'd send her some different songs to listen to, and because I really love Fleetwood Mac's one of my favorites, and I send her that, and she loves them, and any of that stuff. She likes all of it. She listens. She's got a whole station, she said, made up of all those songs that she clicks on when she drives.
Yesterday I was showing this graphic novel to Gabby and Simone, and I was like, I remember bringing home a Bowie 1970s record, Ziggy Stardust, and my mom was like, "You like David Bowie?" She's like, "Hold on, what's going on?" And watching the DVDs with her of like the Ziggy Stardust show, and this entire book is basically more like on his 70s book, which is just amazing. And
see,
it's also one of those artists.
You had David Bowie, you had Queen, you had Human League, and a lot of the acts. Like in the early 80s, you had the new wave acts from Europe, and that was huge. You had variety back then, whereas now almost everybody sounds the same.
That's true.
Yeah, you had Modern English, the Thompson Twins, all them.
Yeah.
I remember I was at a record shop, I think it was like 1995, and I was going through the cassettes. My mom was like, "Why a cassette?" Because I was like, cassettes is cheaper, so if I pick an album, then I can have it because it's cheaper. So I was going through, and I grabbed the best of Wham, and my mom was like, "Wham?" I was like, "Yeah, I like Wham." And
they got a lot of good songs, man. People don't realize
they do.
He can sing his ass off too, man. I don't give a damn. He can sing.
Like the bass, like in Club Tropicana, or I'm Your Man, or Where Did Your Heart Go? I mean,
and Sandy, when you played that Europe song, Final Countdown. Man, I used to listen to that song a lot before it even became a theme in sports arenas. You know, now it's like it's always being played in sports arenas. But I remember when that first came out, I was a kid, and I played the hell out of that and Queen. I was like, oh man.
Hey, she's talking about David Bowie. I've been hooked on Rebel Rebel. I've been listening to that. I listen to that shit like once a freaking week. The intro and the guitar is just hooks me, and then I got all the grandkids. They all listen to it. They all dance to it. I'm trying to make sure they hear all that stuff, and I get it in their heads, and then I'll turn them eventually. It'll take a little while, but I'll get them.
And when it comes to Bowie, one of my tracks from my youth was China Girl. Which was real mysterious, you know. I really loved that one. That was great.
Yeah, and Let's Dance. I remember Let's Dance.
Let's Dance, very good.
In 1999, that was the first vinyl that I bought. My mom was like, "Why are you buying vinyl?" I was like, "I like vinyl." It's just like, I'm getting rid of this shit, and you're bringing it back into the house.
And then when you put that vinyl on, Sandy, and it goes.
That dusty sound, that dusty, scratchy sound.
It hits right on. It's nothing like that.
So a lot of the vinyls that I have is like a collection that I've been collecting for the last 20 years. So I could first buy them for like €1 a piece, and then it became trendy. And then suddenly
they're
20 euros
expensive now.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's funny how vinyls kind of died off. Like vinyls kind of died off a little bit when CDs came into play.
Yeah.
But then within the last 15 years, now vinyl's making a comeback. Everybody say I prefer vinyls over CDs because the sound quality. Yeah. You know, the audio is much better on vinyl. And when I started paying attention to that, I was like, yeah, the audio is way better on vinyl than the CD because you get different sounds that sounds better on vinyl, whereas the CD is lower.
It's like stereo systems too, Shaun. Some of them, they play one speaker and they play the other speaker. Different instruments are playing in different things. They don't do none of that shit nowadays. None of that. Where you hear drums over here and then you hear a guitar over here in your car or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't do none of that no more. They don't record like that at all.
That's true.
But Bowie was just another artist that, when I got home with an album, my mom was like, say, what? Because, she was like, early 20s in the 70s when he was, rocking it out loud. She had the Bowie, the Ziggy Stardust hairdo, and I had the Ziggy Stardust hair like 10 years ago. Like I was like cutting my hair. I was like everything cutting short. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like putting orange in my hair. I was like, what is this? Like Ziggy Stardust, baby.
Space Odyssey.
And I was like,
Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
I mean,
I remember when people were rocking the Billy Idol look. When he was out during the mid 80s.
Yeah.
Like I have this cross earring. I have it for many, many years, like almost 20 years. And now it's trendy. But this is totally because all of the 80s artists like Madonna, George Michael, and they all had the one earring. I was like, that's swear.
Yeah.
Yes. And I wanted those leather gloves because of George Michael, because of I'm Your Man with the tambourine. I was like, I want a tambourine, Mom. And
hey, speaking of leather gloves, as a kid, I used to get a white glove and put glitter on it so it could be like Michael Jackson. I would look cool like, Michael Jackson.
I got the one glove.
And I had the whole bow thing in my hair, like Madonna 80s, and as I said, the Prince blouse. I
remember her
already being dressed like an 80s rock star.
She was in Vision Quest, wasn't she, Puff? She was singing in the club in Vision Quest.
Crazy for you.
Yeah, that's when I really liked Madonna, and that's when I first really saw her, and I was like, man, she is pretty badass. She had she didn't have blonde hair, she had the shorter hair.
I remember when she was in Dick Tracy. I liked her in Dick Tracy.
What was that movie? What was the movie she did that bombed? She did that movie that bombed. Oh gosh!
Die Another Day.
Was it?
Die Another Day.
I know it was one movie where.
No, with her husband or her dead husband. Not Castaway. What's his name again?
Oh no, I don't know who she's been married a few times.
Smoking Barrels.
Yeah. Yeah, Guy Ritchie.
Yes, that one movie that she did with him, that was a big disaster. But it is a movie that sucks. It's because it was badly written. But Madonna, also in the 90s, Dangerous Game. And
Yeah,
another
I
movie.
was
The
going to
name
bring
is
up
Disney.
Dangerous Game.
Something chasing somebody.
Good movies.
God, I can't remember the name of it, man. It was bad. I was like, I can't even finish this one. I usually can finish most movies. I can finish most movies, but I didn't make that one.
Who's That Girl was also kind of bad, but the soundtrack was amazing, especially Causing Commotion, which was great during the Ciao Italia tour. Or the Who's That Girl tour, but in the Ciao Italia version.
Yeah, that's why I heard. That's why I heard Madonna in that soundtrack, Vision Quest soundtrack. She's in there.
Thank you.
Swept away.
Swept away. That's the one.
Hey, Steve,
but Desperately Seeking Susan. It's my favorite. I want that jacket.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That
I remember that. I think I seen that one. I did watch that one.
But like Into the Groove, where she's like dancing with what's her name again? She's with also with the stolen earrings and Madonna.
You know, like when I did the 3 hip hop shows and the funk and R&B episode, we went like 3.5 hours on those shows, and then we do another 2+ hours going to YouTube and the after show looking at videos because we got hooked on the music so much that we gotta go to YouTube and just start screen sharing all the videos and just taking us back. And I'm like, these music shows do a lot to you, man. It does make you want to just go and just binge watch YouTube music videos.
Some of the songs you guys mentioned that I can't remember that good. I want to go back and I'm going to look them up and I want to hear them. I'm going to look. I wrote a few down.
Because if we're going to do another episode, like with an actual topic regarding Prince, maybe all the broads that he had, like all the Vanity Sticks and Sheila E. and Shaka Khan and all that stuff. I know that you can have like under 10 seconds, either audio or video that I could cut.
Yeah, it would be so good if you could go to a song and hear at least some of it.
Because Javi does it on the Start Me Up show. Where he plays like maybe 10 seconds of a song or less.
Then he skips forward to another part. Then he skips forward to another part. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if we would like pick a topic maybe for the next show.
Hey, I want to ask if Sheena Easton still performs Sugar Walls at the age she at now, man.
Yeah.
Well, you never know. I mean, it's one of the hits, right, that people want to hear.
Yep.
They're going to want to hear that one, I promise. For sure.
Madonna still performs Erotica, and it's still one of the best performances ever. I can't believe like Confessions on the Confessions tour is already 15 years ago, and that Erotica version was amazing. To life, whatever. She goes into the whole disco era with music.
Yeah, definitely. Very good.
It's amazing how time flies by. You know what I mean? Like I still have Michael Jackson's death in the back of my mind. Like it just happened, and he's been gone for 11, close to 12 years now.
Yeah,
and it's crazy, you know.
I
Prince
remember my mom watching it 5 years. I remember my mom. It was 2009. Michael Jackson was After Midnight, and it was on CNN. And she was constantly like browsing through all the channels. She was like literally talking out loud, "Please, Michael, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me." And I was like sitting like, "Wait, what? Is he dead or is he not dead? Like, what's going on?" And then it was like official. Michael Jackson has passed away. But then literally woke up my brother. Michael Jackson passed away. What? And then hearing his music on the radio then that night, because of course the radio is just playing it 24/7, but then hearing you turn on the radio and I heard Man on the Mirror and I was like, oh fuck, like it just hit me and I just started crying. And the same thing was with Prince, but Prince cut me deeper, because I love him that much more. But like I wanted to go to the London shows of Michael Jackson, even if it was just outside to get some merchandise for my mom. But then it never happened. And just like Willie DeVille, like I wanted to go and see Willie DeVille. Like probably nobody knows him, but he's also an awesome artist. And he also died, and my mom called me. You know who passed away? No, and I'm like a family member. She's like really like upset on the phone. Really, DeVille? Oh, okay.
And that's why it hit us the hardest in the hip hop community with all the passing of DMX and Shock G.
Yeah, Shock G.
Yeah, Shock G. Wow.
I
read that.
That was like a gut punch. After DMX and Black Rob, then Shock G. Then February we
DMX
lost Mark.
Like,
yeah,
that was
DMX
the high
was
school
like,
anthem.
yeah, DMX was my high school years.
Yeah.
when Get At Me Dog came out, I was getting ready to go into high school, and that song was raw as fuck. I was like, damn, who? And I remember when Money, Power, and Respect came out, and DMX was the last one on there. I was like, yo, this dude hard. I can't wait for his debut album. Man.
Yeah. And then him also performing with Aaliyah. It's already almost 20 years ago that she passed away. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
In fact, this year is the 20th year.
Show, Shaun. Yes, like we messed up her birthday, but we're gonna do.
Yeah, because I think this year is the 20th of her. So.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
2001. And then 2002 and 2003 was Lisa Left Eye Lopez. That was also like a punch in the face. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
TLC.
Left Eye, man.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about. I read about Shock G's passing on the Instagram feed of Sheila E. She mentioned it, and I was like, "Wait, what?" And then I looked it up, and it's like, "Okay, it's real." So, damn. I mean, I've never been familiar with his work, but I've been really loving the Netflix show Hip Hop Evolution. Been watching everything of him, learning a lot of new bands, and one of them was Digital Underground. And after I seen that show, I was at a store and they had a CD, Sex Packets, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this one, and I really loved it. I played quite a lot, and it had an EP with it, with same song on it, which is pretty much the first song by Tupac.
Yep.
So it's like this is a piece of hip hop history, and I was really happy to have it, And then when I heard that he passed away, it's like, oh man, yeah, and way too young.
Yeah, man.
Oh, die way too young. And now I'm also just like with movies because I'm a movie buff, and I know Clint Eastwood is coming at his end, and Al Pacino's coming at his end, De Niro's coming at his end. Like, all the legends are about. Like, if you really think about The Godfather, is almost becoming 50 years old. It's like, damn, like fucking Clint Eastwood. What's it? The Bad and the Ugly. It's already like 60 years old. I'm like, damn, but this guy is still alive.
Yeah, man, he's getting up there for sure. It's just like we were talking about the Isley brothers. They're 79 years old.
Yeah, Ron
Isley 79, and he was kicking ass up there. He would relax when the song went, but as soon as his song come on, oh shit, he was up on it. He was kicking ass, man. There were girls in the audience going,
I discovered them in the 90s.
So fine, and me and Puff were dying laughing. They were ready to go meet up with him later on.
His wife had to remind them, like, he meant.
Hey,
you said
I remember in the 90s they had Contagious, that song. Where it was like the White Villa, like that's how I discovered them. That voice, I was like, okay, it's that voice.
Yeah,
that's like Chris just has to look at you, and it's like, okay, take my soul, do it.
Yeah, that the music the Isleys put out, especially in the 70s, was just iconic, and the most sampled music when it comes to hip hop. That's why I liked it when he came up to the song and he said. But he said Biggie, the Big Papa song, because Biggie sampled that, and he came up and said, "I like it how you call me Big Papa, because he the OG Big Papa."
Another legend, by the way. Like, I think it was recently with Kicker Comic. He was talking about Notorious B.I.G. and I just started like going at like it was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Like I was totally into the whole 90s hip hop. Yeah, like I could even go NWA style, but I won't do that out loud because it contains words that I should not be saying. But especially that Ice Cube part at the beginning, like crazy motherfucker name Ice Cube. That's just, I just love that stuff, you know. And also, hip hop died with me when the '90s was ending. Hip hop ended for me along with it. Of course, you had DMX with Party Up in Here. That was, I think, 2000, 2001. There was like still the last bits of pieces that made it all, well, because of high school as well. But Party Up in Here was the anthem in high school.
Yeah.
But we're almost going at it for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, man.
And
I knew this would be a long one. He has
I
a
think,
lot of songs, man. We haven't even touched on probably a quarter of them.
I know.
At the most.
And I think that's why I was talking about it with Shaun before, that maybe we could turn this into like a series. And, you know, I've been dropping the bombs. Like we could talk about the ladies. We could talk about 70 sprints. We could talk about 8 sprints. Or divide it all.
Talk the early, the mid, the 2000s to 2010.
Hey, I want to mention the Kaika comics. I did 3 old school hip hop streams on my channel, so check them out if you can. I did 3 of them.
I will check them out.
And maybe I should drink some alcohol and then I will do the karaoke for Shaun in the back. Just don't move me off the screen. I'm a crazy motherfucker there.
And I also did an R&B and funk show, old school R&B and funk.
Yeah, that one was fun.
Okay.
Steve was on there, and it was a blast. We had TiVo on there. We were just talking Sly Stone and the Family Stone. We talked what's that group? Arcades, Gap Band,
old school.
the Fantastics, and all that.
You might not believe it, but that is my music. That's what I listen to most
of
the time.
We went through Earth, Wind, and Fire. We went through everything, man. I had notes this long, man. I went through every damn bit of them in no time.
Yeah. Parliament. Man.
If you check my CD collection, you know, it's all R&B. It's a lot of hip hop. I mean, I think I think I have a lot more hip hop albums than people would think I have.
Yeah, brothers. We did Brothers Johnson. We were talking about everybody.
Oh man, Strawberry Leather.
Yeah.
Strawberry Leather 23 is like one of my faves, man. I love that song.
I love Stomp. They sing the way they play the bass in that. Yeah,
when I was in my 20s, I was introduced to the New Jack Swing.
And
that was like, oh man, this is my music. And I had a period that I was listening to progressive rock. I got sucked into it, and I was active in it. And then a couple of years ago, I was done with it, completely done with it. And I went back to what I had. You know, I went back to the New Jack Swing. I started buying the albums again, and the Hip Hop Evolution show really put me onto a lot of hip hop that I never listened to before, and I love it.
Hey Marcel, I know whenever Bobby Brown's Every Little Step comes on, I know you doing them dance steps because I do them too, man. I got to do them dance steps.
Speaking of dance steps, I am convinced, and I told Shaun this before, and I told Kicker Comics this before, like Hypnotized by Notorious B.I.G. I swear to God, the slut will come out in every woman. Like, we will just get up and be like, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie. Like, we won't go down. But yeah, I guess there's a lot of possibilities with music streams, because I was surprised not that long ago when you were posting an Epica album. I was like, wait, what? Because I have been through the whole phase as well of like the female metal voices and Nightwish and all that stuff, but I always gravitate back to the funk, the soul. Like just yesterday, I was like really into Creedence Clearwater Revival, and it's all the stuff that I grew up with because of my mom, and it's the music that I love the most. It's the one music that I always go back to. So,
it's funny when you're that age, though, Sandy. You're going, "This music sucks. I hate this music." And then later on, you're like, "Man, that music was pretty good." And then you like it. You're like, "Damn, I told her it sucked back then."
But look, I was a kid that bought still cassettes and vinyl records in the late 90s and the zeros, because I was still stuck with the whole old school vibe because I enjoyed it so much. Like I was still getting VHS tapes. Now VHS is making a comeback, and I'm like, I have that shit still in storage. I have all that.
Yep.
Yeah, I still got a ton of that shit too.
I still have, and a lot of good stuff too. Like I'm really proud of some of the Madonna VHS tapes that I got, and I still have that shit. And I really liked it. I was always leaning more towards all the old now, and
especially with things going digital, I still want to own my shit.
Me
you know,
too.
Whether it's VHS, DVD, or vinyl cassette, like I still want to own it because I don't trust digital enough.
Shaun, why do you think I can't buy Bitcoin? Damn it, I could be rich. Damn it, if I trusted that shit. Damn it, man.
Yeah.
But I think that's also a generation thing, you know, that you keep buying physicals.
And my son-in-law is always in there telling me, you know, this digital currency and that, and then there's some cards came out where they show a play and you own. I'm like, man, but I don't own shit, man. That happened in a game. I could go back and see the game. I want to own my card, man. I want to be able to, like, I got this card. I can look at it. And, man, this card's badass. What condition is it in? You gotta, I don't know. It's like comics. You know, you can read them. You could read everything. You could have AF-15 on digital. I could have every comic on digital, but damn, I can't have every comic in my hand.
No.
And touch it.
I listened to digital music. I mean, I signed up with Tidal back in the day when Hit and Run Phase 1 was exclusively played on Tidal. That was when I signed up. And, you know, at that point, I got to so much Prince music and Prince-related music and all kinds of other music that I loved. I stuck with Tidal. I still have a Tidal subscription. But I often, when I hear a good album, I buy it because... for some reason, they might pull it, and then I can't listen to it anymore. So I want to have it. I want to own the physical disc.
Okay.
And then,
so they can pull
it
at any time. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, it's the same with Netflix. I mean, you watch a good movie, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, that's the final date you can watch it, then it's gone. It's like, yeah, but I love the movie. Well, then I'll buy it. You know, as long as I have it on a disc, I can watch it whenever I want to.
Just today, I got my record player back because I had it in the store. Fuck it, I need my record player. I need it, and I've been laying on the ground this afternoon, just putting the needle on it, just like. Oh,
Sandy, I will tell you when I got my father's record collection, I spent a whole 3 days going through all those vinyls and playing all the music. I was like, this is music that I listened to as a child. You know, my dad, because every Saturday night, my dad would come home and just play records. That's all he did, was play records. And I was like,
Sunday afternoon for me.
Yeah,
I was like, my mom.
Hey, that's how that my daughter comes home, and I hear her say to my wife, "Dad's playing that dumb music again, Mom." I'm like, and it's my house, and I'm gonna play this shit till I'm gone. So get used to it.
But it's such an experience when you just go through that music and all those vinyls.
I remember for years, like, as you know, I've been collecting records since 1999, at least the vinyl stuff. And I've been looking for the Batman soundtrack of Prince for years. I couldn't find it anywhere. I mean, now it's easier to find, of course, but I couldn't find it then for years. My mom, that sneaky little bitch, she passed away, right? She never said a thing. I go through her record collection, and there it is in mint condition.
And there it is.
And Prince, they're like, you mother! I told you all the time, I still can't find Batman. You have it here. And she was already gone, so I could not dig up her grave.
And you're out shopping around, and she's secretly going, "I got that shit."
Even with I was looking for the Nothing Compares to You Sinead O'Connor single, the little one. Couldn't find it anywhere. She's like
the 45.
She's like, "Oh, you mean this one?" That she handed over the single. It means nothing. I was like,
"Oh,
what else do you have?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing important. You know, it's stuck there." And there was Prince, Batman, bitch. And I was like, "Fuck." But yeah. Yeah, that's records, music, right? It's more memorable than comic, I would say, because it brings so much more. Like you think
music.
about back
You
in
hear that from Jump Street. You hear what your mom and dad are listening to, and then you go into what you like, and it's all new, and then it goes out, and then you hear the new stuff, and you go back to that stuff because you like it so much. That's usually the progression.
My mom once heard "Yeah, You Are Always on My Mind" of Elvis Presley, but it was the laughing version. Like he just started to laugh halfway through. Like he starts to insult the guy that's in the audience, like in "Love Your Bald Hair" or something like that. And he just starts cracking up. And then this background lady that keeps singing, he's like, "Yeah, sing it, baby." And he just keeps cracking up. And that was the song my mom was looking for forever. And then for some reason, it got released on a CD single. She bought all the CD singles. Like she had that version like 6 times, the same single, because she was looking for that version for like years. She bought the single like 6 times. And I guess I got that from my mom because, as I said, I bought Girl 6, the soundtrack, because of Nasty Girl. And my mom bought a 5-disc compilation just for the song "Someone Loves You, Honey." Like, you're gonna pay 80 euros or 80 guldens at the time for one song? Yeah. And I did the same shit, throughout the Yeah. Just like
That's
she
awesome,
thought,
man.
she went to the record shop, she was like, "I'm looking for that Mick Jagger song, Brown Eyed Girl." And he was like, "It's not Mick Jagger." "Oh, well, it sounds like Mick Jagger." He's like, "I know, but it's this guy." Because she could never find the song because she thought it was Jagger. But it was another guy. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But I guess sooner or later we will figure out maybe for like a once-a-month show, like regarding Prince's music, like the topic that we could do next. I think that could be interesting, and maybe cut a few bits and pieces of music so we can listen to it while we're talking about it. I think that could be cool.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
If people want to
Sean's
join,
good at that shit. Sean's good at getting videos up and not getting them taken down. I can't do shit. I click on all of his stuff because he likes the same stuff I like. Luckily, I just go, "Damn, Sean put up a banger now." Hit it, and then
I haven't done Old School Sunday in over a year because they were attacking my old videos. So I was like, but I've been doing 365 days of hip hop on Instagram. But most of it is underground hip hop because that's what I mainly do, like underground. And the mainstream ones, I have to chop it down to like 29 seconds so I don't get the full copyright strike.
You don't get the full gavel.
Yeah.
We come down on you, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I got a video today to post.
To for some reason just set up the 90s hip hop stream anyway sooner or later because Kick of Comics mentioned it. Marcel knows his shit about hip hop. I have my love for hip hop. I'm pretty sure Steve has his shit about hip hop as well.
I know some. I don't know as much as Sean. No, I just sit back and learn.
I'll be down for that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
I mean, I've already done 3, but it's been mostly like the same crew I've been with, the Comic Hall crew. So it'd be great to talk hip hop with others.
Yeah, and whoever wants to join, let it be known, and we can set something up. We can either do it on Sean's channel or someone else's channel. I don't mind doing it on someone else's channel at all.
Well, I was saying with you wanting to do this like once a month, it'd be good to do it on your channel for a Sunday show. Like after we get through some of Prince stuff and the bands, then we can like continue on with music streams on like when we do the Aaliyah. I know that's definitely going to be here, and we could touch on other popular acts that we all love. So we could do a whole stream on Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah, you'll never get through that either. That'll take another 3 hours.
Exactly.
For sure.
It'll be me just talking for 2 hours, like how much of big of a crush I have on the eyelashes of Tupac. Like when I saw close of him, like he's beautiful, man.
Hey, Will Smith don't like him, does he? Will does not like Tupac.
But you can say, but Tupac, he was a smart guy. Like he said some shit in interviews. So you're like, is that why he got shot?
Wish he didn't.
But also at the of course, anthems that was just, like California Love. I think everybody knows it. That's like, ooh, let's start dancing. The inner slut comes out. But,
freaking Chris Tucker in the video.
But yeah, I guess we will talk about what our next topic will be. Of course, Prince related, and then what we throw in afterwards. And if people want to join in, let us know. And I can have 6 people on. That's all. So I can have 2 more. So I'm pretty sure Kicker will be down for the hip hop stuff. And I think the fantastic girl Gabby wants to do something because she really likes the old school stuff. But whoever wants to join, let it be known. And
Gabby's been doing a lot of paintings lately, a lot of books lately, boy.
Yeah, man.
She's killing me. She's been doing it.
Sandy know where I'm going because Sandy know where I'm going because I popped back in and I saw that I won, and then she said, I was like, I'm here now. I hear you.
I'm like, I'm gonna block Shaun. He won. I wanted to make the. I was like, he's probably here, isn't he? It's like, yeah, I heard all that.
That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, shout out to the fantastic.
In a way, I guess a way as a tribute to Prince, we can call it the musicology stream.
Oh, that'd be cool. Musicology.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so anyone who wants to join, let it be known. And I guess soon we will return next month with musicology episode 1, I guess.
Yes, man. Anything about music is awesome. You learn a lot of stuff too.
Yeah,
that's true.
You learn a lot,
and it makes you want to
go
straight
to
to the
write
music.
that down and go hear it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like the funk will be played all day tomorrow for sure. I need some.
Oh yeah, the funk is right up my alley. I've been listening to that forever.
That's the one reason that I wanted to play bass, and then of course because also a lot of metal, like cool bass stuff going on. But then you had Wham with the bass, and I was like, if I can play bass, can I maybe play for Prince? And, he has Ken Wilfer, but yeah, that dream never happened. But at least he played the beautiful ones. So I guess on that note, see you guys next month, and just let us know if you want to join. So, ciao!
Later, everybody.
Later, y'all.
Later.